Hi guys, welcome back to the Stretford Paddock for our watch-along of the pre-season game against Leeds United, joined by Adam, Damien and Casey. We're going to be with you for the next 2 hours for the entire game. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to the video on social media, all the good stuff. We will be doing, watch-alongs of every game this season. So lads, good to have you here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was here for the first watch along, went very well, but now we've got 3 new people. You weren't around last time, you couldn't make it.
Couldn't grace you with my presence.
But yeah, here's going that it goes as well as the first time around. You were here for the watch along, weren't you, on Saturday?
Yeah, I was just working in the background. So yeah,
it's all right.
Of course, though, we do have Joe, one of the Stretford Paddock lads in Australia now, who I think we can actually go to live. Joe, mate, how's the atmosphere out there, bud?
Yes, lads, we're here at the Optus Stadium, of course. The atmosphere seems like, I would say, probably a bit more intense, a bit more excited than the last one. We couldn't even get into the fan meetup before the game because it was just too busy. I reckon it's probably going to be, I'm thinking 3-1 United. I think it'll be a bit more of an intense game. United, I think, will probably put on a bit more of a show, hopefully. I'm expecting, apparently, a bit of biffa after the game, which is, I think, Australian slang for fighting, but hopefully we'll avoid all of that. What do you lot think in the studio? What's your predictions?
Cheers, Joe. Obviously, not seething at all that he's an Australian. We're sat in beautiful Manchester. But yes, lads, predictions for the game. We said it on the preview show, going through the lineups. I said 3-1. What did you lads say?
Yeah, I said 3-1 as well. Hoping to see Greenwood on the score sheet. Adam?
Yeah, I'm saying 2-1, mate.
I went with 2-1 as well.
Obviously, Greenwood as well was a big topic of conversation for us. Just in case you missed our preview video, this is the team that we're going to start the game with. Obviously, we presume things are going to chop and change as the game goes on. Starting Romero in goals. We're predicting it's a 4-2-3-1, by the way. Rojo, Lindelof, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, Pogba, McTominay playing in the holding midfield. Daniel James, Juan Mata, Mason Greenwood, and Marcus Rashford up front. Game kicking off in about 5 minutes. What are we thinking about starting lineup anyway? Mason Greenwood, obviously.
No, I mean, it's an exciting lineup. To see Lindelof and Bailly together, it's going to be really interesting because I do think that's our best duo in the back right there. And Marcus Rojo starting on left back. He's a good option to have, I guess, when he's fit. And, sometimes he has his bad spells. I reckon today is a good time to see what he's going to potentially do this season, Marcus Rojo. And obviously Wan-Bissaka's first start in a United shirt, pretty exciting.
Yeah, what about you guys? I mean, you were saying as well, Eric Bailly was a player we went through as well, and we have to plug that Casey has him on the back of the shirt as well. Marcus Rojo, I mean, it's hard to, we signed Marcus Rojo for how much a few years ago? Was it something like 12 million? 16 to 18 from like, and I always say this, you don't know what you're going to get out of that Portuguese league, but we're linked with like Ruben Diaz for like how much? Ruben Diaz from
60 million.
60 million. Like, you can't justify paying that for a guy who's probably on the same level. Can you imagine paying 60 million for Marcus Rojo now?
I mean, you'd say the stance that Lindelof was 35 from the same league, so it's kind of a mix.
True, yeah, that is true. To be fair,
but if you see that first season that Lindelof came in, he wasn't exactly that great.
No, he wasn't.
That Huddersfield game was like a baptism of fire, wasn't it?
True,
When
was it De Poitre? Where like someone lumped it.
It was Lossell.
Jonas Lossell has 2 assists in his Premier League career. Both of them against United last season and this season as well.
He was Mourinho's boy though when he came in.
He was. What did the Iceman they call him? Yeah, he's a quality defender to be fair as well. And it's a good thing to say as well. Captain, who's going to be captain next season?
Well, in this game we got Mata starting as captain. I don't know who you boys want as captain. I personally don't have a clear option in my head. Really, De Gea is he's one of the go-to guys. Lindelof. Mata is the captain today, and I can't see him starting that much. The season comes along, but he could be club captain. But if I'm right, didn't Ollie say a couple of weeks ago that Ashley Young would be the captain?
Well, I mean, Ollie's come out recently and said that Pogba was probably in line for the captaincy as well. There's two sort of angles you can look at it. I mean, like, you've seen teams in the past, I say Chelsea last season and Arsenal in the past, they both had like captains in the dressing room. They had Mertesacker at Arsenal, Cahill at Chelsea. Neither of them played any football whatsoever, but the fact is they were in the dressing room, they were setting the tone that they wanted in the pre-match, post-match, like half-time talks, and then on the pitch they picked other players to do it. So that might be the way they go about it. Like there's a captain on the pitch and there's a captain in the dressing room sort of thing.
I just think we lack real leaders, really. I don't think if we're having this discussion where we can pinpoint someone and say him, like he's the captain. Like you look at all the other United teams that we've had. You look at the '99 side. You say who's the captain? There you go, Roy Keane. You look at Rio, Vidic. They're just natural born leaders, and I feel like this United side misses that little bit of bite from what they'd give to us. So, yeah,
I'm pretty hopeful so far. What I saw in the first game, we talked about as well, just touching on the Greenwood situation again. And Daniel, he's going to probably play a lot more than we probably thought this season. Even I think Dan James is probably going to be our leading right winger. If you look at the stats from the game against was it Perth, his number 79% passing accuracy for a right winger as well, considering he's going to be playing in those the number of crosses he's going to be putting in. 5 touches in the opposition box, 3 chances created, and 2 out of 2 tackles. So the fact that he's going to be a backtracking winger, which has been the criticism of Anthony Martial over the past few seasons, having a winger who isn't willing to put in a defensive shift. But I mean, look, he topped the bleed test or something like that. Top fitness at United.
Maxed it out.
He's got it maxed it out, did he?
Yeah.
Jesus, I remember doing the bleed test back in the day. I don't know.
No,
I think my best score was like something like 10.8 when I was like 15. I was pretty gassed.
Get in,
at that.
lad.
Oh, but there was like some lads in my school who'd be getting like 16, 17, make me feel like a right fat prick.
exciting.
But like, I love his attitude. I don't know what it is. He could struggle with like maybe the physicality, maybe playing devil's advocate. He's only about 5'8", but
He's
again,
young, though. He's young.
low centre of gravity, man. He has got some serious wheels on him. To be
I mean,
fair.
if you saw the way that he was taking some of the tackles on Saturday against Perth, the guy was being rammed from all sorts of angles. And not saying anything about that. Yeah. But I'd be excited to see what he can do on that right hand side. But today, obviously, Greenwood, I think we all agree that he's the guy that we're going to be looking out for today, because I want to see how he's going to link up with Wan-Bissaka straight away. Because in that second half last week, a lot of the creativity did come from that right-hand side. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see if maybe Greenwood can push towards the centre and Rashford will drift out wide. Because that's what happened a few times last week, was that the striker and the person on the right and on the left, they'd cross pass a few times. So
I mean, I feel like Wan-Bissaka is going to be interesting for 2 reasons. I feel like obviously the link up on the right-hand side, we'll see maybe him going forward more. That's something that people have wanted to see, because that's been his sort of... The point that everyone's been making is, is he an offensive fullback though? So I'll be interested to see how he works there. But he both helps with the defense as well, because I feel like there's a clip going round and people were saying when Wan-Bissaka was on with Smalling against the Perth Glory game, Smalling was preempting Wan-Bissaka not to get it. I feel like
I've seen that video.
I feel like that's been drilled into
the
back. Like he's going to have to cover the right back, and then obviously Wan-Bissaka got back and tackled him. And I feel like that's going to help with the defence as well. I mean, might help with Bailey. Sure. Bailly again.
Whichever one.
We're going to change.
You have the man on the back of your shirt. You need to know.
This game. But
what you do is anytime you mention by his name or Bailey, you just turn around and point to the name.
I'm not doing that, but I feel like it'll help in both the offence and the attack, in sort of how comfortable the team is. I feel like that's a good thing to watch.
It'll be interesting. I'm very excited to see how he plays in the coming season. The team's coming out now as well, so I'd say we're about 5 minutes from kickoff. Make sure to get your predictions in the comments, lads, as well. We'll be here for the entire game and the rest of pre-season. We've given our predictions already. Make sure to like, share and subscribe all over social media. New channel, up and coming channel. Just hit 10k as well, so we're on the up too.
What do you guys make of that red kit, by the way? We talked about the away kit that we had last week. But what do you think about the red? Do you like it? Because some people don't like it, some people do. I personally think it's the best one we've had.
I didn't think much of it when I saw it online, and someone said it in the office, you can't make much of a shirt when it's like on a dirt floor in a factory, and it's like leaked images. And I actually managed to get a hold of the new kit as well. I'm not really one for buying new kits as well, but I managed to get a hold of it on the cheap, well, for free. It's all right, to be fair. Yeah, I don't like that 90 plus 1, 90 plus 2 stuff. It's a bit, we can't
too on the nose.
It's like we will be slated for living in the past, and it is kind of, and it doesn't make any sense because it's not 10 years or 20 years.
No, it
20 years was last season.
Last
season, it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
Bit of an afterthought. What is this? They're doing like a pre-ritual.
Aboriginal.
They did this before the game last week.
You got to hand it to the Australians though. They do sell out the stadium. I suppose there's a lot of English and like Brits, Irish living over there, so
I mean, and there's reports in there as well, like a load of people from Leeds and Manchester are both before the game.
True.
It's some black magic to make sure that Eric Bailey doesn't get injured.
But I feel like there was a couple of people saying, because there was the whole protest, like people shouldn't be going to the matches and stuff, about the Australian fans before, and a lot of them were saying on Twitter, it's like this is one of the only chances they're getting to see all Manchester United fans to see their team play live in Australia. I don't think I can't remember the last time we were actually in Australia for a pre-season, if we have ever been in Australia. But the thing is this is one of the first chances, and all the Australian fans have come from all over Australia just to watch these matches.
Perth's in the middle of nowhere as well. Not that I've been to Australia, but it's like on the west coast, isn't it?
It's like one of the only things on the
It's
wall.
the only thing out.
Like
that
it's just,
side.
you forget how big Australia is as a country, to be fair as well. But I don't know.
There's some weird things.
Yeah,
on
I
TV
don't.
right
Yeah,
now.
it's like
Right in front of the United.
you can't say it's weird. That's cultural appropriation. It's
Sorry,
weird.
guys.
How dare you? I'm offended. I'm physically offended.
Physically offended.
Physically,
as
mentally
the influencer of the channel.
offended. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like
They're just dancing in front of the team.
I'm pretty sure, like, if you guys can't see what's going on, so both teams are lined out on halfway as you do for, like, you know, before any game, and they're doing, like, you know, you have pre-match, you know, stuff going on before the game, and they're just dancing in front of both rows of players, and everyone's kind of, well, it's finished now, but both are just standing there kind of awkwardly. Probably due to kick off in about the next few minutes anyway. Leeds, I haven't seen the Leeds lineup actually. To get it up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, a few key players. Calvin Phillips is a player I like. 30 million price tag they've stuck on him. Can you imagine 10 years ago, 30 million for a championship player? I remember 30 million like was the top tier what you get in the Premier League.
It's like people now talk about this whole Maguire thing, don't they?
Oh,
For 80
80 million.
But that's a different story.
What are your thoughts on that anyway, Harry Maguire? Because it has split a lot of people online saying it doesn't matter how much he costs, get him. I mean, for 80 million though, I mean, for like Harry Maguire, slabhead Maguire,
Yeah.
80 million
I'd get
pounds.
him. I'd pay that.
I do rate him. I didn't realize how good he was on the ball until I saw the company game against City when they near enough nicked it. Thank God they didn't. I mean, no one likes watching City.
Is that the run that Maguire did? Like,
yeah,
up
it
the
was
pitch,
just
so like the
he's
left-hand
just so
side,
good
yeah.
on the ball. But 60 million plus add-ons. I mean,
A lot of money.
What are you lads thinking of that?
I feel like with the 50, with other centre backs we're being quoted 50, 60 million for a centre back. Like Ruben Diaz, we were talking about a bit earlier on, and we've been quoted. I think it was 40 to 50 for Milenkovic, which was don't know if that report got rubbish in the end. But to say like we're paying an extra 20 million for someone who's probably going to be comfortable in the league this season.
Yeah.
I mean, we can take the punt on someone like Ruben Diaz, but if they have a season where they're off the pace and they need to adjust to the league, then that's a season that we're not getting back into the flow of it. So I feel like if we're paying an extra 20 million premium, that's the premium that we need to pay in order to have a solid defence this season in order to build and get back to where we need to be.
there is somewhat of a Man United tax, and it has been for the past few years as well. You got to pay like an extra 30 million.
And I think you can see that we're trying to flip that as well.
Let's
Obviously,
be
trying to sell Pogba for 150 million
Yeah.
plus. I mean, if Harry Maguire was to step into that team, obviously he would be the best defender without doubt, and he'd improve that back line infinitely. So you gotta wonder if maybe spending that much money, although I would agree that Maguire's not worth that much, but if he's one of the only few people available in the market, he is prem proven. And in fact, I was talking a couple of weeks ago. We did a podcast, me and Ronaldo, and we were talking about with the players that we have available. Maguire would probably be the only few players who would come in and be ready to lead that back line. And that, you know, paying, for me personally, that's a lot of money for anybody, but 80 million for Maguire, you're not going to be getting potentially a lot of skill, but you're getting a lot of leadership and a lot of toughness in that back line. And that might be the perfect thing to bring Lindelof through, to bring him into maybe make him, I don't know, the next captain if Maguire wasn't supposed to be after a few years, but I'm all for it. At this point, I just want to see a new defender come in because it's been a few years since we've had a proper centre half come in. Besides Lindelof, obviously,
Centre back pair.
Yeah.
We just kept targeting like players that we just knew weren't going to come. I remember Varane. I mean, we
Sergio
was
Ramos.
Varane. I mean, we was trying to sprint before we could run. It was just like we were getting players linked to us who, yeah, great world class defenders, but we had Jones and Smalling. We have Jones and Smalling.
So,
you need that extra step up. We should have been going after players that you see in the league now, like Rudiger at Chelsea, Alderweireld at Spurs. When he was at Southampton, we should have been all over that. There's just so many missed opportunities, which it is a shame because I feel like our back line has been what has let us down recently.
I feel like,
Kevin.
I was going to say, I feel like that tone was set with Moyes, though, from the very start when he was struggling to get players like Kroos, Bale, sort of thing, and then he ended up
Fabregas was famous.
Fabregas,
Thiago.
and he just ended up only getting Fellaini. And I feel like that sort
Schneider.
of was where it started because we were looking for players who were world class off the back of where it was a period of uncertainty starting, and then we've never really got back from that point. It's just kind of been a downward spiral since. I mean, we've had some good signings, but no one else.
The game's just kicked off right now.
Yeah, we just kicked off there in Perth. Leeds in white, United in red. A little look at the Leeds team there as well. I think they've gone with a pretty strong lineup as well. Kiko Casilla, Dallas, Cooper, Berardi, Douglas, Phillips, Forshaw, Harrison, who I think's on loan from City, Pablo Fernandez, Key Maroof, and Patrick Bamford. That's a pretty good for a championship team. I'm pretty amazed.
Strong front three that for pre-season as well.
And how when they tanked so hard in the playoffs, didn't they? I think everyone I think maybe it's a bit just before our generation. Leeds in their heyday of them being a big club. They still are a big club, Leeds, but I mean when they were title contenders, European title contenders, and you forget just how much of a rival they were to someone like United. To be fair,
you guys reckon there's going to be much of a any interaction between the players, any roughness?
No, I mean it's pre-season, to be honest. Sure. I don't think they're not even playing in the same league next year. I think both. Bielsa's not there as well, isn't he?
No, Bielsa was on screen before he has turned up.
I'm amazed he stayed for another season, to be fair, because I think a lot of people poured everything into that first season, didn't he? He spent a good bit of money as well, brought on a good, decent standard of players.
I mean, the football that we were playing when Bielsa first came in was with some of the players that they still had. That was before they got in all the players.
Bielsa's a top, he's considered.
I mean, he got them playing proper possession style football.
We're on here from Lindelof, by the way.
Good run by Lindelof, bringing it forward. Yeah.
Rashford with the first
shot. Post! Rashford hits the post from the right side, drilling shot.
What a run from Lindelof, though.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking
the
about
last
the
few
Maguire
seasons?
run.
Yeah.
That's so Maguire tight.
Well, we were saying you could see in Ollie's the way he lined up last season. He was playing his two centre backs further up the pitch, a higher line to get that ball into the midfield, and it was kind of something because he is so comfortable on the ball, Victor Lindelof, isn't he? But it's just we don't see him drive forward.
He's never had the opportunity though.
Yeah, I think because he's the best. Probably
because look who he's got behind him.
He's not
Jones
he can do.
Smalling,
If you guys saw the video of Smalling trying to cover back from where Wan-Bissaka was in the last match, because he's so used to knowing that. Oh wait, hold on, we got a run right here from James in the middle.
That's a good run.
Anything in the build?
Oh, here we go. Here's Mason
Greenwood
on the
a bit of a poor touch, but it's all right.
Poor touch.
We like
too heavy on the pass.
Tell you what, we've had more action in these opening 2 minutes than we did for about 90% of the Perth Glory game.
That's so true.
Oh.
Well, what I was just going to say is that last season, Lindelof did come out with the ball a few times. In fact, if you guys remember Ollie's first game against Cardiff, there was one run he did at the 80th minute. And to be fair, we should put it away. And I don't think he's ever had that protection. If he's able to run forward, someone needs to drop back. And they were able to see that McTominay did come back. But that's going to be interesting to see what tactics we're going to use next season. If we were to get somebody like Maguire.
I can see Scott McTominay playing a lot more next season, given the way he finished last season.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely one of the... It's amazing how far you can get with just having that kind of temperament to fit in. He's not the most technically gifted player, but the fact he just gives it...
I feel like
he's on the ball, the GOAT himself.
Well, he's like the saying, isn't it?
McSauce.
Yeah.
McGoat. He's actually turned the meme around, hasn't he? It's Dan James cutting in on the inside.
Good play.
Oh,
lucky.
Mata nearly threading it through there for Marcus Rashford.
From what I've seen so far, by the way, guys, you can correct me on this, but Greenwood's staying a bit more central at the moment.
He does like to cut in. I mean, he's got how many goals for the... He's got an insane... more than a goal per game across all the youth setups at United, 18s, 19s and 23s, but obviously he's going to cut inside if he's getting that many goals.
Somebody was asking, by the way, how many more signings do you think we're getting? By the way, guys, make sure you're commenting. Any questions you have for us, we'll try to answer them.
Even if it's not about football, lads, even if it's just about us, if you want to get to know us a little bit better, or anything like that. But yes, how many signings do we need? What are you lads saying?
I mean, how likely is it if we're going to sign anyone else other than hopefully a centre half? That remains to be seen.
I think we've got one more in us, I think.
Yeah.
Ollie came out.
Ollie came out and said that he wanted... it was a sort of two more, at least, was the sort of thing. And he was kind of saying, it will be two, sort of thing. But I feel like then past that, it's sort of a like-for-like situation. So if someone like Lukaku leaves, they'll probably end up signing another attacker. So it all depends on that sort of situation. But I feel like a centre-back is kind of on its way to being sorted. And then I feel like it's another midfielder. I think Longstaff or two midfielders with the Longstaff sort of thing is probably dead in the water now. I feel like McTominay should be given the chance, as we were just saying, instead of paying 50 million for a sort of unproven midfielder. But yeah, I'm just going to say it, maybe three, because Lukaku looks to be on the way out as well.
Sean Longstaff has only played, I think, 9 Is it like he started 8 Premier League games and played in 9 Premier League games, 50
But
million? It can't get any
really
worse from
impressive in all
yeah,
those games.
he has been good, to be
It'd
fair.
be worth the punt, but not at the price
Not
that
50
Newcastle
million,
value in.
not a chance.
No chance.
Oh,
Especially when
look
you
at-
got
look at
like McTominay, Matic is staying. You got Garner in the academy as well, who scored the other day.
Leeds on the attack here. Can't get any worse for Newcastle though after today. It really can't. Like the whole Steve Bruce thing.
Nah, man,
What
you
was
got-
going
you got
on there
to
with
feel
like
I mean-
someone like Mike Ashley?
You have to feel bad.
Have you seen that apparently they're putting Sports Direct in Chinese
Yeah,
on
I
the front of the
saw
shirt?
that.
That's the number
He's
one.
literally Ashley's just stuck it into Google Translate.
But I feel like they've lost the player of the year to the club that they've also lost the manager to.
Yeah.
Salomon Rondon's going to Dalian Yifang with Rafa Benitez. They're sort of saying the money from my overseas Perez is going back into the transfer budget, but seemingly like you would have thought if they got a top level
look
manager,
at the
that would be
speed of
invested.
30
James
million
there.
for Ioza
Keep it in.
Benitez, man. Apparently he can do like something like 80 meters in like 8.48 seconds, which is like Olympic level speed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think he said that in training he averaged about 36 kilometers per hour or something, and
Yeah,
the fastest in the
jeez.
league last season
hell's
was
going on,
Sane with 35.
Jeez.
So or 35.4 or something like that. So I feel like, and then in the records, Robin with I'm just throwing stats out.
here's
Oh,
one-
oh,
one
I'm
second.
behind.
penalty right there.
Yes!
Mason Greenwood,
yes,
first
we
goal
called
for
it
the
before
United
game.
top. There we
Great-
go.
Tell you what, great run by Wan-Bissaka in behind. Just to tell you what it was like. Ball threaded through to Wan-Bissaka on the overlap on the right-hand side, putting kind of debunking what we all thought, not being an attacking right back. Squares it across. Could have been a penalty as well, to be honest, but literally squares it. Marcus Rashford, probably the easiest
There we
goal
go.
scorer of the
Wan-Bissaka's
pre-season.
first
tour.
assist as well.
Thank God it
Yeah.
wasn't here last week. We were getting the most exciting
know,
game.
yeah.
The Perth Glory game. But yeah, Mason Greenwood, first goal in Senior United team, 1-0 anyway.
That's going to lift so much pressure off that guy's back now for the rest of this half. I mean, if you guys were watching the end of the game last week, Greenwood hit the post, had 2 opportunities, and one of them was like right outside the 6-yard box. He should have had a goal.
That's a finish to be
That is
fair.
a finish.
I think it's a great ball.
I feel like
Both
2-1
footed,
seems like
isn't
an
it?
undercut at the moment.
Yeah.
2-1 position.
He's both footed as well, isn't he? I mean, he scored that. He scored a perfect hat trick, didn't he, against Newcastle? Actually, coincidentally, it's like a free kick with both feet or something like that. He scored a screamer with his left or free kick with his right, something like that. But I think that's if we had to pick anyone to score today,
Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood,
that's the
yeah.
perfect player. So 1-0 United after 7 minutes. And we've got more action in this opening 10 minutes. Free
It's been
kick there.
coming. It's
Yeah,
been coming.
It's been
The goals
coming.
been coming.
Yeah, Leeds have looked a lot more open than I thought they would. And this is, I would guess, not a Leeds fan, obviously, or I'm guessing this is a full strength Leeds team near enough, or maybe with the
We got
exception
Pablo Hernandez in.
Spanish international. As
Yeah,
well.
and he's impressive.
I mean,
He was good. He was good at Swansea as well. I'm surprised they let him go.
It's sort of like a fight between like the two cultured Spanish midfielders, isn't it? Juan Mata at 9, number 10, and
Yeah.
then the Pablo Hernandez
Pablo
in there.
Hernandez.
So I mean, Pablo Hernandez last season was 12 goals, 12 assists. He was the player of the season. Like at
Pablo
34 years, I think he's 34
is he
years old.
34 years old. Pablo
Mason
Hernandez?
Greenwood.
He's
He's been around for a long time.
He has been around for a while, but I mean, like he was averaging a goal contribution.
Offside.
I think it was like a 0.4 or 5 a game, but like a goal contribution. So that's 24 goal contributions.
That does show the step up though from the Championship to the Premier League, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The guy, he wasn't crap in the Premier League or anything, but he can go down at 34 and just run him up.
Oh yeah.
It's like typical.
But I feel like
I
this-
call it Cameron Jerome syndrome.
Yeah, I feel like the style of play though for Leeds suits him. I feel like this is why Leeds aren't really doing much. It's kind of possession, quick passing, and we're kind of starving them of that possession at the moment. We're not being we're trying to through balls and stuff, but we're not being wasteful with possession. And I feel like it's something we need to work on. And obviously, showing here now is something that Ollie probably wanted to work on.
That's a question for you guys.
Oh, he's on us still. He's on Bielsa. We're 10
He's
minutes
finished.
in, and
He's
we've got the
fuming.
first shot of Bielsa on
This-
a little stool there.
A little question for you guys. Obviously, Marcus Rojo starting as left back. When Luke Shaw isn't fit, do you reckon he's going to be the next option, or do you reckon someone like Ashley Young would step in?
I think Ashley Young will step in there.
think so?
Personally,
Yeah, I think so. I think Ashley Young will still be used as a
Hope
squad.
so.
There's been no indication that he's going to be moved on anytime soon. How many years has he got left on his contract? Does anyone know? I know he was
don't
given a contract.
Ashley Young?
Just
Yeah.
the one.
I think it's one. Yeah.
Just 1 year.
the one
Yeah,
year.
it's
I hope
really
it
good.
is.
I'd imagine if it is 1 year, and I don't know if there's a triggering clause in there. They'll probably let him go on a free next season.
I'm impressed right now with how United are passing the ball in that final third at the moment because
It's a lot higher tempo, isn't
Yeah.
it? We're so used to the Van Gaal Mourinho way of playing.
Now, did they have training again this morning? Because I know they did on Saturday. But
I'm not entirely sure if
I'm
they
not
did.
sure either.
Probably, I presume the day before a game. It wasn't an intense session or something like that.
Well, I was pretty happy actually. We went into
back
the
Good tracking back there by Pogba.
No,
No,
that's a
that's-
risky back pass. Entertaining opening 10 minutes.
Thanks,
I'm
Sean.
not gonna lie.
Appreciate it, man. It's all right. See that one? Big man Sean, love it.
See what you lot are saying in the comments. Which of you is the best influencer? That's me.
Goes without question. Goes without question.
That's the easiest thing I'll answer.
Pass the plaque over there.
Pass the
Look
plaque,
at this. Look at this.
I'd just like to say that we were. I forget the guy who designed it. See that piece of paper? Pass it there, Adam. This is the guy who designed the 10K subscriber plaque. Design FX.
Destin FX.
Is it Destin?
Destin.
Whatever. Great plaque, mate. For the.
We've probably butchered your name, but we'll go with it. That's who you set the fact.
It's not protocol for YouTube to give out 10K.
But now the next step is 100K.
100K.
So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because we'll be doing watch-alongs throughout the season, hopefully. So we need another one of these.
Yeah, we're gonna get another one of these plaques soon. I like this better than like the 100K ones you get. They're silver.
So shiny.
In fact, yeah, exactly. Focusing on that, lads, can you? There you go. Forget the game. We're here to talk about the plaque.
That's real influencing right there.
Let's see what else we're saying. Hi guys, enjoyed the show. Keep up the good work. What is happening with Bruno Fernandes? Well,
Wouldn't we like to know?
wouldn't we like to? I think it's the new delict, isn't it? This situation. I'm sick of hearing.
Always
about
like one of those ones. They always get those sort of transfers, which seems to be more the papers talking about it than anyone seems to be official. There's never anything official about it, but a paper's like, he's here, he's going. There's a bid been accepted. The agents agreed a fee. He's on a plane over here.
Yeah, the plane track. The plane track has come out. You know, it's getting to grade 1. Transfer ITK. Shit,
you just got like a United fan sat in a room, dark room, blinds closed. Just got a plane tracker on Fernandes.
Rojo in the overlap there.
And it's just some guy coming back from his holidays, but they think it's Fernandes. But
Dave from Bradford's going to get off the plane.
Yeah.
Paparazzi are going to be there.
But it seems to be like one of those ones that it's constant in the papers, and it doesn't seem to be any official movement yet. I mean, it could just be that if it does end up happening, it's been said by a couple of top-level journalists, tier 1, tier 2, that there is interest from United, but it's not as much as the papers, other papers have been making out.
No. Free kick?
Yeah, give him a free kick.
There we go.
Free kick to
I don't know if
United.
you guys
I think Greenwood on this one. I think
Yeah,
we
just
have
give
to.
We've got some good free kick takers on the pitch, and we
I don't
got
know
Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood.
If you guys were looking though, look where Dan James is. Right when he finished that run on the left, he came central and he stayed.
He cuts in all the time. He's not a winger who, like the modern day winger, goes 1-on-1 with opposing fullbacks. He runs into space, into zones.
But I was going to ask, do you guys think the front three, that although they have the primary positions on the left, centre, and right, but I think they've been instructed by Ollie just to make sure someone's always on the left, middle, or the right, but they can run anywhere they
Look at
want.
the way we line up. We're probably best primed to have players dragging defenders out of positions because you look at the likes of Rashford, Martial, James. Not Mata because he's not very mobile, but he's gonna. Those players are gonna be the ones to get in behind.
I feel like Mata and Pogba sit for the through balls of those players going
And
forward.
Pogba's sitting.
I hope
over
he
the
takes
free
it.
both.
I think he's the best free kick taker we have.
I feel like this is
Mata.
Pogba's from distance is probably the best.
kick. Is there a better free kick taker like on the edge of the box than Juan Mata?
No.
I don't. Like
Juan
every
Mata
time-
actually is itchy. It looks like he's
It's
itchy. To
true.
go for
Jack
it.
Grealish.
Rob there from behind the camera
Jack
disapproves,
Grealish.
but you know it's true, Rob. Do you think Jack Grealish? Yeah, Jack Grealish is better, Rob. Is he? No, he's not, man. Don't think so.
All right, let's see what. Oh, it was Mata.
Connor Hurahan, maybe.
No, he's
Come on.
running away from it. Go on,
Pogba's gonna
Pogba.
hit it.
Oh,
Just wide. About 35 yards out of that.
Who would you guys want to take free kicks? You're saying Mata on the edge of the box, but personally, I've always think that anytime Pogba takes it, I always feel like
I feel like Rashford.
goes
I
near
feel
it.
like Rashford is kind of lost the sort of stance because he got it a
That
couple.
goal against Celta Vigo bottom.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
two
yeah.
seasons on free kicks.
Yeah,
true.
but then every single one where he's kicked it just like miles above
If
the
you look
bar.
at his style,
So
he hits it like Ronaldo, doesn't he? He's got that knuckleball style of just smashing it. Just getting
And it
swirling.
worked against. There was that free kick he scored against Cardiff, that first game.
Did not
first
take
goal.
a massive deflection.
oh,
or something like that.
we've regained possession quickly here.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, just the tempos.
Saka absolutely turning whoever is that Cooper? I think.
Oh, that's great play by Wan-Bissaka there.
Pogba driving forward now.
Should've
United
gone
are all
outside.
over
That is a
Leeds here.
foul. Oh, but
Pogba's still
Pogba still
going.
has it.
Still the
There we
corner,
go.
yeah. United are all over Leeds here.
That was a beautiful bit of skill by Wan-Bissaka though. Completely turned his man, flicked it behind him, and just the what's lead player had no clue where he was.
There were some people who were fuming that we only beat Perth Glory 2-0. It's as if they never watched the pre-season before.
You can't look into results too much in these sort of
No,
games.
you
innit?
can't.
It's
I mean-
performance and fitness levels.
I think was it Crystal Palace lost
6-2 to
6-2.
was it to Barnet yesterday?
Barnet. I mean, like you can't look in. I mean, that may be more, but I mean, like 2-0. If you win, it's a run out like the first game's a run out. They're trying to get the fitness back. They're just trying to get the match tempo back.
I actually saw Barnet play this season. That's how sad my life is. I had to go down to Salford for an assignment, and I watched it. 0-0 it was in the conference.
The season
Premier.
that
Jesus
Chelsea won their Premier League under Conte, they lost every single one of the preseason games, and they obviously won the league. Then the next season, I think it was the next season, or it might have been the season before they won the Prem. They won every single preseason game and came 10th. So it's you're completely right, Adam. It's not about the result. It's about the performance and the fitness level. It's not about the performance and getting the goals. It's about how can a team link up when it's experimental. Seeing how Greenwood be able to perform in general is more important than us getting the win. Because I think that's what this is all about, is testing the water. If you were trying to have a ball-playing centre-back, this is the time to experiment, not halfway through the season, which I think people always, they want the win, but sometimes that's not vital.
Well, it was like Van Gaal's first season.
Oh, do you remember that mad preseason?
Yeah.
Where we beat everyone.
We beat, I think, we beat Liverpool in the
Real
final.
Madrid.
We had
Yeah.
such a ridiculous run of games. Like I think it was Real Madrid, maybe Liverpool, sort of like.
Yeah, but the thing was as well.
And Memphis Depay was absolutely storming it, and then we went into the first season, and it was like,
Yeah, things.
How
things
deep
No, in the first season it was.
He is playing
we were
quite
playing
deep.
like 3-5-2, but he went too hard in it, and the players just got knackered, and he was using the fitness, and he was just knackered them out, and it was no wonder that we didn't get any points on the board. We didn't get a win till about, when was it? QPR in the league, was it? About 5 games in.
Yeah, true. About 20 minutes in here, and the game has somewhat slowed down a little bit.
Mason Greenwood getting the goal.
Whatever
So
happened
happy
to
for
that Leeds United crest that they did? Remember? And
oh, the one that like
There was like a footy
They didn't
like
count
one,
default Pez.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
proper
yeah.
Microsoft Paint job. I'm guessing they cancelled that, did they?
I feel like they
Yeah,
got
they
they got a
did.
petition and they cancelled
That
it.
was bad.
It was a bad kid. It was.
How did they? Someone said, like, how many points clear were they at the top? The championship at one point at like Christmas. They were like absolutely smashing it, and then they absolutely, because they beat Derby at Pride Park in the first leg, didn't they? Of the semi-final, and
Yeah.
they just absolutely tanked it.
I feel like the thing with the championship is always until the end of it is always unsure who's going to be top. I mean, there's only been a couple of teams that have run away with it, but then Norwich came out of nowhere. So I think
Yeah, kind of low. They kind of just slowly but surely.
Yeah.
What's his name? Daniel Farke, the manager.
Daniel Farke, yeah. But I mean, like they had Max Aaron's sort of Buendia,
Timu Pukki.
Timo Pukki,
Celtic reject.
I mean, but he scored 20. I think it was top
Yeah.
goal scorer. I mean, like these sort of like went along the way and they just kept winning and drawing and getting the points on the board, and they got up to the top eventually.
Villa came up and they won something like 12. They were like they sunk to mid-table and they won like 12 games on the bounce.
That was
Pablo Hernandez
Pablo
again.
An awful
Hernandez.
volley.
They won like 12 games on the bounce.
I could see similarities though.
Rob the local Villa fans loving that from behind the camera.
I could see similarities though in the way that Leeds season ended in ours, because it was like we were so
Jesus,
heavy about
what was
it.
that?
They were so heavy about playing this
I
pressing
don't know
style
what
of
for a
football.
whole
It just
point
wasn't
for there. I'm not gonna lie.
Kawhi straight face just asked who scored. Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
6
mate.
minutes in.
Wan-Bissaka assist. Inject it into my
That's
veins.
beautiful.
Inject it into my veins.
See a lot of goals scored like that in the Premier
Offside.
League now. I feel like City kind of
Yeah, they
kind of like set the standard of that sort of goal, like pass it, long pass in to the byline, pass it back across, and the striker scores. Like and it seems to be a very capable way of scoring. It's high percentage chance.
proper FIFA way of playing, isn't it?
It's proper
We've all
FIFA.
just been sweating for
Sweaty
FIFA.
goals, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the secret behind Guardiola's success, just sweating FIFA. What the state of that? State of United's goalkeeper jersey, if anyone's seen it. The
You don't
purple
like
one.
it?
No, man.
What?
Football
Full
football
purple.
kits
It's
are
alright,
not
man.
meant to, no, I don't know.
I mean, I don't. The Van der Sar purple one wasn't too bad. Like a few seasons.
Too
what
slow.
was that?
Call me old fashioned, but I just like a
There we go.
nice,
Good
clean,
green
a
one.
nice, a nice
Oh, hello!
whoa,
That's a
oh.
ball. Kiko Casilla coming out the box there to clear that.
Pogba, absolute leap.
Very interesting game so far. I think we're able to
Leeds
see
are giving
lot
it a
of-
go now, to
lot
be
of
fair, as
strength.
well.
Who?
Leeds are giving it a go.
Yeah.
Spread across, by
Exact
straight
same
in
move.
there.
So scared anytime I see Bai doing anything with that knee. I think I'm joking.
Mason
I'm
coming
really
back and winning the ball.
just to see the physicality that Wan-Bissaka is bringing to the side already makes that price tag seem a lot nicer.
Confidence as well. He just looks like he's been here for a while now.
Fearless, yeah.
Mm.
Can't believe we actually got the Wan-Bissaka thing done. It was like for a while I thought it was going to be like a Schneider thing where it was just going to be endless linking every summer, and he'd eventually go to
That
somewhere
thing,
like
that
Chelsea.
that deal was done back in like March.
Yeah, apparently so.
That kind of adds to the transfers as well, because the thing is like it could be slow moving transfers. It kind of went on for a while, but it seemed that we got a good deal in the end. And I feel like other transfers that we've been linked with might be another sense of it. I mean, like we've been linked with other ones like Milinkovic-Savic, and that is seemingly to be if Pogba leaves, but then some of the news sites are still reporting that we're looking at him. So I'm not sure how. What would you think? Would you think that you get him and play him maybe deeper, and keep?
I'd like Milinkovic ball into the middle. Romero coming.
Even more communication back there. I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Marcus,
the longer that time's coming along, I feel like Pogba's going to be staying with us this season. Next season.
Side netting.
Is that
Marcus giving the ball away there.
Oh, no, you missed it. But Savage would be a good addition to the squad, I think. Obviously. The price tag's a bit hefty. Do you guys reckon he's worth the 72 million?
Milinkovic-Savic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. He's such a good player. And he can play. He's almost Bruno. He's, I'd say, a more proven commodity than Bruno Fernandes, to be honest, playing in a high standard of a league. And he's that type of player, although he has been playing predominantly a lot more deeper for Lazio than someone like Bruno Fernandes would.
I mean, the sense is if you brought in Milinkovic-Savic, you could move Pogba forward.
That's the thing.
Into a number 10 sort of role.
And I think that's where he has to play from now on. I don't think he can play. Look, when you get the best out of Paul Pogba, when you've got two, like we saw how good Herrera was playing with Pogba, because he was that gritty kind of shithouse midfielder. He was going to cover all the ground that Pogba has to cover defensively.
I mean, it's kind of like, it depends on the team, but you can see the different formations you could play with that sort of thing. Like Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic is a two-man midfield with McTominay behind if you think you're going to have more possession. If you're going to, I think we've talked about different ones. We've talked about the diamond, but we've seen 4-2-3-1 twice now in pre-season that day. So it's an interesting, how he's going to set up isn't really clear at the moment. I feel like the next transfer after the centre-back will be the one that sets it as a sort of what team are we going to set out on the first day of the season against Chelsea.
Looks like it's going to be Maguire at this stage as well.
Although
he did play last night against Scunthorpe, didn't he? He played for Leicester last night.
I feel like it was just to put the rumour to bed that he left the training camp and sort of thing. Like everyone was saying, he's left the training camp 48 hours ago. He's coming for a medical, and everyone was like, it's pretty much a done deal. I mean, a lot of reporters came out and said, he's going to be in the United shirt soon. But I feel like that was the sort of them saying, like, he's still here. Yeah. We want our valuation. We want our world record fee. We're not going to sell for any less. And this is sort of like our statement for that sort of thing.
We got a few tweets. One of them saying that Bissaka making sliding interceptions, assists. I love this guy already. That's what I was saying, man. That physicality and the want to win the ball back. But then, we were able to see what he's done offensively, the assists.
Yeah.
Exciting to see. 1 Bissaka, 2 Bissaka, 3 Bissaka.
I like the enthusiasm of that tweet. I'm not sure about the delivery. 1 Bissaka, 2 Bissaka, 3 Bissaka. Sounds like an MLS tweet or an MLS chant. I'm not going to.
Sounds like
I believe.
It sounds like an American chant.
The American chant of I believe it.
I'm reading a tweet off there. McTavish sounds.
Probably Scottish.
It's probably Scottish.
Bissaka making sliding interceptions. Love this guy already. Yeah, love him as well.
In his interview, he said about one of his things is
Pogba takes a shot from just outside the box, goes wide.
One of the things he was talking about, he has long legs. I can't.
The spider, they call him.
They call him the spider because of his long legs, and that sort of has helped. That helped with the assist as well because he was able to get under it. But it's sort of he's able to let people go past him and try and knock it and then reclaim the ball. He kind of tries to force them into getting away from it instead of like where you see some of them who just kind of try and press him off it and sort of thing. He goes for letting them trying to get past him and then taking it away from him.
That might go against him eventually. Obviously, you got the one red card last season, but you feel like him waiting for the player to get past him and then make the tackle might leave him open to get, I don't know, a bad tackle in, missed time. Do you guys see that as a complete advantage or it has its ups and downs? Risk reward. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love the aggression. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm personally okay with it.
I mean, he seems to be very good at it. I mean, last season, obviously, he was playing for Palace, but he completed 94%. I think he was only beaten by, you probably would say, players like Hazard.
Yeah.
Like those world class. Like no one seems to be able to stop Hazard on the dribble.
Pablo Hernandez again, driving at United.
But
giving the Leeds fans something to watch.
Yeah, I do rate that Leeds kit though. Horrible it is to say. Pains me to say.
So with the whole Wan-Bissaka thing, then, where do you think this leaves Dalla? Do you think that he will do what people are saying and go to the right wing, or do you think he will be back up for competition?
I mean, it's hard to say, to be honest. I don't think anyone knows what. There's certain key positions we don't know who's going to start the season with. Centre back, especially. I think. There's been a bit of talk of Axel going on loan. I really hope that's not the case. I don't know about you. I think
he's ready. I think he's ready to start.
It's his third pre-season tour as well. It's
Yeah.
his third pre-season tour, and he's not had a run of games in the squad. And he's proved himself at Villa last season, which, if you can do it at a top-tier... if we signed Daniel James for 18 million, and Twanzebe went up, James finished mid-table, didn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly. So...
It'll be interesting to see if.
Oh, what a
Tuanzebe-
save by Romero!
What a save by
Point
Romero.
blank shot from
We've had
6
to
yards
change
out
our
by
view
Leeds.
to that TV for a few technical difficulties, but Sergio Romero, best backup keeper in the world. Is there a better backup
sure.
keeper? And people say
Probably is
Courtois.
true.
I mean, I think there
There
was.
we go.
But
Dan
United
James
are
on the
on
break
counter
right
attack.
James
now.
on the break.
Sorts it
that's
out.
good
Whereas
ball.
it's-
Oh,
man.
that's unlucky.
Poor ball to Juan Mata.
I mean, there was
Tried
that,
to shit it out to his weaker foot. That was the issue for
But
Dan
look at him
James.
wanting the ball back, wanting it back quickly after giving it away.
I mean, there was that season.
Look at the pressing from United here
pressing.
as well.
Good.
We saw apparently in training they were working on pressing all week. And
That's
you
good
can see
Greenwood
plays
again.
get
Mason
Greenwood into a
again.
position. Oh, he's cutting.
Oh, took a deflection, I think, did it?
No.
Goal kick.
I thought there was a deflection there. Yeah, but I'm not sure. When we talk about backup keepers, I mean, like it was like the season where they had Courtois and Czech was one of them. Czech was
Yeah,
the backup.
true.
I mean, like that sort of thing. But in terms of, I mean, like those sort of have dissipated now. I mean, like Sillerson's left Barcelona. I think
30 million.
I think they've got Neto from Valencia, who's
Yeah.
a good keeper, but I don't understand why he wants to
They
go and
got
play.
30 million for Sillison, though.
But they spent exactly the same amount that they spent on.
Neto.
That they got for Silleson on Neto. It seems to be a financial fair. Some people were saying financial fair play.
Yeah, that probably
I'm not
seems-
going to make any statements for stuff like that.
It is a blessing, though, isn't it, when you're playing like an FA Cup game and you do play your second goalkeeper and you don't have to worry that he's going to drop a clanger. Like Claudio Bravo at City. Like, I've got a few City mates, and, you know, if Edison's not in goal, City have got problems.
I mean, they've signed
Good clearance for Pogba.
another. They've gone and signed another young keeper now. So I don't know if he'll come back.
Oh,
up.
McSauce on the break.
Oh,
Sauce.
Oh, there we
That's
go.
3 on
This is a
2.
very good run. I mean, he needs to just
So
pass some
Marcus-
hand now.
Rashford's
Is this going to
on
go back to
1-1.
Greenwood?
Oh, I sent him off.
That is a beautiful goal.
Absolutely
Absolutely did.
ended him there. Marcus Rashford 2-0 on the break as well.
Man, that was good.
United 2-0 up now inside half an hour.
The composure there, though, to just
Take it past two people to make them collide.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
People who bring signs to football games should never be allowed back in. I know that's really often, but people who bring signs, if you're
Please
over
can I
the
have
age
your
of
shirt?
6,
Yeah.
you're over the age of 6 and you bring signs to football games, you should be put down.
The only sign that you can have
Oh,
at a
Marcus,
football game.
absolutely ending.
That was perfect.
Whoever that was, might have been
Sensational.
Leeds United there missing Pontus Jansson, maybe?
to Brentford. Apparently, it was always his dream move. He said one nominated for Didn't Happen of the Year award as
Yeah.
well. Oh, to finish. Oh, passes it into
I
the
feel like
front.
if you're a striker and you don't improve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you kind of there's
Yeah.
not really much you can do at that point. Because I mean, as one of the best strikers that we've had in United history, I mean, coming off the bench, scoring important goals, I feel like
Yeah.
the one area we should improve is up front
Yeah.
in terms of finishing. I think it's great for all we have Greenwood, we have Rashford.
You were never going to get that under Van Gaal or Jose, were you? Because
No.
they're such defensive-minded coaches.
I mean, Ollie's only ever known one way of playing football, and that's, playing
Prefer
from the
you
front,
attacking.
attacking, pressing, counter-attacking.
I think if there's anything to take away from this game so far is that United on the attacking side have been very, very high tempoed, lots
High
of
pressing as
fast
well.
passing. And it was great composure from the front three, obviously. We've seen Dan James bring it in pretty well into the middle. Rashford's finish, Greenwood's positioning. It's pretty bright.
Confident start, to be fair. So half an hour in, 2-0 goals from Greenwood and Rashford. United pretty much... Well, Leeds are getting back into it, to be fair.
I mean, Rojo at left back's not particularly been tested that much. I feel like we haven't really seen him. What he's got to offer. I mean, he's had a couple of pressing options.
But Leeds
but not-
United keep coming down the left with Wan-Bissaka, and I mean, obviously, Bielsa is a great coach and everything, but surely you'd want to attack Rojo on the left.
I feel like they're going through Pablo Hernandez, and Pablo Hernandez is kind of the one that's trying to dictate the play.
And he
I-
keeps drifting.
He
to
just
that
keeps
side of
drifting
pitch,
to the left because I think he's played on the left early in his career. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but it's probably just a natural thing. It's like Mata when Mata played on the right, but he seems
Yeah.
to drift down the middle because it's just a natural thing for him to do. Wan-Bissaka on the ball here.
He's getting forward quite a bit, isn't he?
That is
That's a free kick, ref.
What's going on there? For who?
Rashford looks
Few
unhappy
comments
with that
down
one.
below. Gents, an important question.
Sure.
Thoughts on Love Island? Because that's what someone else
That's the
just
important
said.
thing.
That is the
Yeah.
important question.
That's what we need to do the watch along
I'm
for.
just going to tune out and watch the match for a second. If
I'd
you
like
want
to
talk
go on
about
record
that.
saying I actually don't watch Love Island. I just
I've
catch.
missed this season.
I catch the highlights now and again.
I've heard there's a lot.
People
of
are all
I'm
raising.
fully caught up.
Everyone behind the cameras raising their eyebrows, but I swear by it. All whipped in.
We kind of
I
get
don't
forced
watch
by
it.
the people behind the camera to watch the highlights occasionally. So
But yes, I've caught it a bit this season. Oh, quick free.
If I'm honest with you guys, the only thing that's scaring me right now about Dan James is his passing.
I feel like
Passing doesn't
Final
seem-
ball, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he sees the passes and he sees it, but he's not got the weight of the pass yet. He's either hit it too hard or not hard enough in order to get it to the person. Like there was obviously a free man, and if he had hit it a bit harder, he might have got it to him because there was no one covering like the near post. But I feel like it's something that he'll learn and he'll work on as he plays more.
His
for United.
pace and his endurance is already there. So I think if you're able to clean up the passing, haven't been able to see him shoot yet, but
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
ball.
that's
Falling behind.
How high up the pitch
Oh,
is
no,
Rojo?
but
That's
there?
Rojo.
kept it in.
He kept it in. Oh,
Will admit though, I am kind of impressed about how high the fullbacks are pressing. You know,
Yeah.
having the confidence to let Lindelof and Bailly mop up at the back with McTominay.
I'm still amazed by the front three and how it's not always Rashford in the middle. It's one of the three, obviously. But what I'm really seeing right now is there's a fluidity right now with all the players changing positions. Dan James not always sticking to his left side. Greenwood coming
Leeds on the
central.
attack here.
that's an advantage there.
2-1.
Oh,
The stream is literally frozen at the worst
And
time.
it's
Gone out
not
for
gone
a
in.
corner, I think. Let's see.
Goals from Greenwood and Rashford, man.
Not going to lie, we do look a bit open defensively when Leeds hit us on the break.
Yeah. You gotta think that we don't have our best
Yeah,
left back. We
sure.
don't have our. Well, I mean, that's
We've got our second choice left back though. He's
Yeah.
probably going to play quite a bit this
True.
season, you'd imagine.
you
I
guys
mean,
like Luke Shaw, by the way. Just want to ask, what do you think of him?
I feel like Luke Shaw is just a bit behind in his development. I feel like he still has a decent way to go in terms of how he'll develop, but I feel like just the leg break, a bit of the fitness issues, there's a couple of injuries. I've kind of just put him a bit behind where he needs to be at this point.
I mean, for a modern day fullback, one of the key ingredients you're going to have to put in your repertoire is the fact that you're going to have to get assists and you're going to have to chip in with maybe a few goals. You look at Robertson and Alexander-Arnold setting the tempo for Liverpool. Luke Shaw, you know, he doesn't really register out any assists. He only scored his first ever career goal in the first game of last season. So I think we can do a lot better,
go on,
personally.
one
I know he won
second.
Player of the Year, but
Oh.
I feel like we could be aiming higher than Luke Shaw.
I feel like Luke Shaw, though, last season he did actually make quite a few offensive runs. He did actually try and get those in the game. I just feel like we didn't have the sort of movement up front that was needed.
Plus, as well, he's been under managers who, well, under Van Gaal, obviously the leg breaks, we don't really count with him. But with Mourinho, you know, he didn't really get adventurous. You know, there's like the famous comments after the Everton game, he was playing with my mind in his body or something like that.
Yeah.
After he played his first probably good game under Mourinho.
Jose fucking hated Luke Shaw, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, man.
Van Gaal signed him and said call him out for being fat.
He wasn't fit. He wasn't fit though.
I think
No.
every
So, I mean,
manager who's ever managed
He
him
was
has
that
made
matter
fitness
dispossessed
comments.
there
feel like-
by Calvin Phillips.
I feel like he has the Wayne Rooney sort of physique, whereas
Yeah.
if he doesn't play for a while, his fitness kind of...
Eric
Look at
Bailly
my
with the most
stick, and I was
Eric
like-
Bailly clearance I've ever seen
But
in
that's
my
his
life.
athleticism, though, isn't it? That is what he does. He just
probably
puts
why he
the body in
injures
all
himself
positions.
so much.
That's so true. I'm gonna go to the toilet. Let's go back.
Yeah, no worries. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there's probably just
I haven't seen much of Paul Pogba this game. I don't feel like he's...
Yeah, but that's good. I feel that's
yeah.
kind of good because when you notice him, it's usually for all the bad things.
He's not... He's
The
not
else is livid, man. Sit down on your fucking stool, man. Shut up.
He's not really made those. I'm not. I mean, I'm not particularly sure. But I haven't really seen him make, you know, like the Pogba pass. If you see like those ones where it's like cutting out half of the defense in one pass.
He's playing a little bit deeper today, isn't he? He's playing in sort of that like number 8 role where Juan Mata's in the number 10, which I do.
Yeah.
I think Juan Mata in the number 10 is a hell of a lot better than he is at right wing. I think he's completely wasted on the wing.
He doesn't really play right wing though. That's the thing. Like him and Lingard both have the same sort of syndrome of them being put at
drifting.
right wing, and they both are naturally number 10s. And
Yeah, but then
and they
it's
just
one less
kind of
option, isn't it?
exactly.
That's
And
it.
I feel that's the problem when we have right backs is that they have to then play as wing backs, and that sort of adds an issue because they have no one supporting them on that wing.
Yeah.
Valencia famously went from being going past everyone. I mean, he had the leg break, which probably didn't help him. But he famously went past from going everyone to kind of stopping and passing inside.
Oh,
because
the most frustrating thing ever. To
Yeah.
watch
he
Valencia.
never wanted to go past the man. But the thing is, he didn't really have the support because they'd all drifted in, and it kind of. I feel like you need to get someone in, and I think Greenwood is drifting in, but he is giving options occasionally.
Oh, Marcus
Rojo.
Rojo was doing.
Kick-ups.
Oh, yeah, kick
That's got to be
Leeds didn't
yellow.
like that one.
That's a yellow.
Right on one matter.
I mean, it's a yellow. He looked a bit confused that he was getting a card there, but he went through the back of him.
So many. Did you ever see in pre-season refs sending off players? It's the most pointless thing ever.
It happened
I mean-
to Valencia, did it, last season?
Oh, break us off.
I'm sure Valencia got sent off.
I
He's a
mean,
little nibble. Oh wow, how generous! Thank you.
this is the last one, man. I haven't had one yet.
Leeds getting back into this, to be fair.
Mm.
You'd hope they would. If they don't get promoted this season, they'll never get promoted at this stage under Bielsa.
Oh, that's good run by Rashford on that.
Yeah.
We're going to see him.
Well,
Come on.
Oh, actually, no.
No.
Oh,
Too
Too much weight
heavy.
on that pass.
I feel like Leeds did well there to cut off the options
Yeah,
until the
true.
last second. I mean, Kiko Casilla is suspect at times, so maybe putting it a bit too.
got him from Real Madrid, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, he never really got a run at Real Madrid. I mean, he was under Keylor Navas for a while, and Keylor
Courtois
Navas,
then as
quality keeper. I mean, I've never understand why they were going for another one, other than they just wanted to splash some cash. But
Remember when we were going to get him with the De Gea swap deal?
Yeah.
And he was crying when the move didn't fall through, apparently. Yeah. Well, that's what Sky said. Believe what you want. He also said Harry Maguire as well when he... Eric Bailly... Oh, what was he doing?
I think like Eric Bailly is just like the ball will not remain in the box as long as I'm still standing.
Just
I'm gonna-
throws
It's
a
a
leg
good
at
mentality to have.
but
Just
some
puts his body in the way.
just going to end up kicking someone in the head though, trying to get the ball out.
Guys, as well, make sure to smash the like button on the video as well. We'll be here for every preseason game and most games as well next season, especially the Europa League games. Can't wait. Thursday nights will never be the same again.
I haven't seen much of Kemar Roof for Leeds this half. I feel like top scorer for Leeds last season, but he's not really been given a chance to get on the ball. It seems like Pablo Hernandez is having to shoot rather than pass.
I think Kemar Roof
Oh,
is
Leeds
this is a
with a
blind
training
left.
ground exercise there from the corner.
That nearly looked like the
ball
blind one
whipped
against
in.
Liverpool.
Yeah. But when I think Kemar Roof is like a David Nugent type player. He's a championship level, and that's his level. He's not against Premier League opposition. He will tend to go missing at times.
I mean, you see like there's a couple of good strikers in the Championship, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
Neil Maupay looks very good for Brentford.
He's only 22, isn't he?
I feel like he's been touted at a move away.
It'll be big money though.
Job there from
I
Pogba.
think.
I saw 25, which is quite a reasonable price for quite a decent striker. I mean, don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong, but it's a decent one.
All right. So looking forward, obviously, we've got exciting few games. We've got Inter Milan, we've got Spurs, and we've also got AC Milan. Which one are you guys most excited about going forward?
Oh.
Another save from Romero right there.
It's always the Milan games are always a big one as well. I don't think Milan, as in AC Milan, are the team they were 10 years ago.
No.
I think they're getting absolutely. Apparently, their Chinese owners, or I think they're still their owners now, are like proper in the shit financially and stuff like that. And Inter obviously as well. Be interesting, but the whole Lukaku situation.
See what happens there with Inter.
Yeah, what kit will Lukaku be wearing? But like, I think Ollie's got the right mentality that he's not going to sell him unless he knows someone else is going to come in, because Romelu Lukaku is a guy who's going to get 30 goals a season in Serie A, and he will probably get. All he needs the service as well in the Premier League.
I mean, I think the biggest game that's going to be in the preseason is the one against Spurs. I feel like Spurs is going to be the one where we're like
They're going to take it
we
seriously.
put out the team that we would play at the start of the season. We play how we want to play, and we just see what happens, because they're the opponents. They're the sort of levels we're going to be playing. I mean, like we probably will play like can't remember if Inter Milan got the Champions League place, or was it the Europa League? I thought
right
Atalanta
there.
might have got it.
Over the top here for Rashford.
But they're the sort of team that we're going to be playing week in, week out. We need to beat.
Ooh,
Saved by Kio Casilla.
Rashford cutting inside a lot of the time on the left-hand side, isn't he?
That incredible ball, though, from Pogba from his own half, kicking it all the way forward.
He is really a
Last
world-class
man.
player, Paul Pogba, isn't he? To be fair, for everything we say about him and everything everyone says about him, he is a world-class player.
What?
Just
What
has a
is he
shit
doing?
attitude.
Ollie doing a code, I would say. Not really sure.
He is handling it a bit more, Pogba, like a lot more professionally than I thought he would. To be fair,
Yeah.
he hasn't done a Griezmann or a Neymar.
Just not a fan of the way he came out talking
No.
about that. He needs a new challenge, which That doesn't necessarily mean that he's saying, I'm going to get a new challenge.
If you want to leave,
somewhere
fair
else,
enough, but there's other ways you go about it.
Yeah. It's been messy.
I mean,
to say the
he's
least.
kind of come
Dan
out
James.
and said, "Oh, this is a good run."
goodness.
He's kind of come out and said, sort of clarifying. I mean, it might have been clarifying on that sort of comment that he wanted just reassurances the team was going to be strengthened, which I think that's always
That's
been
fair.
Paul Pogba's problem. I feel like he's a very good player, but he just needs those other players to kind of take the weight off him. Like you can't expect him to make the cutting pass every time. And I feel like having Mata at him deeper and Mata at number 10 this game has kind of shown that. Yeah. It's like he has more. There's more
Leeds in behind here.
and then
should
Eric
be.
Bailly.
Oh, that should be
Eric
2-1.
Bailly with a. Eric Bailly then throwing himself in a
Wan-Bissaka
shot.
I'm telling you now, we still look extremely open on the counter attack. Leeds have cut us open a few times. Someone get Harry Maguire on the blower, please.
Just show him this game and say this is what you're improving. Actually, don't show him this game because that might scare him off. Not gonna lie.
I feel like I should have put money on a 3-1 here. But who bet? You know, you've got a problem when you're betting on pre-season games.
Yeah.
I'm skinting at the moment as well.
Thing is, I haven't seen much from Rojo on that left side defensively at all.
No.
So it feels like we're playing 3 at the back instead of 4.
I think that every ball that Leeds have put from their right hand side, which is on Rojo's side, they've just gone past him.
A few people asking where the game's being shown. It's on MUTV. We have it on right here. And if you guys don't have MUTV, you can just listen to us talk about the game.
Also, as well, I can't believe the amount of people in the comments last week who were like, show us the game.
Yeah, let's just get banned.
That's not how YouTube works,
I
mate.
mean, it's against the YouTube terms of service. I mean,
They will take down their channel.
There's nothing we can do about that.
We'd rather stay on YouTube's good side. They are ruthless.
Yeah.
Even anything, they
They
really.
are brutal.
But we do love YouTube, by the way. We really do. Please don't take
Thanks for
down the
10,000
channel.
subscribers.
Thank you. Yes, please don't take down the channel. Leads them behind.
Where will Kieran influence on if we don't have YouTube?
Oh, don't worry. I've already got a cult following now. 20k incoming swiftly. So nearly half time now. Still 2-0. A lot more of an open game, to be fair, as well.
Few tweets coming in. What a counter attack! This is what we want to see. Which I mean, yeah. Anytime we've been on the counter attack, especially with Rashford and Greenwood's pace and Dan James, obviously, it's been exciting to see.
I've got to love. Is that Mitchell? I've got to love Mitchell's optimism as tweet. If we are going to win the Premier League,
It's not that Mitchell.
Wouldn't put money on it, mate. Would not put money on it, to be honest.
It's not a complete squad though. Somebody was saying it in the comments for the stream, but it's not a complete squad. You're not going to expect that either. From only 2 signings, we haven't even signed the centre half yet, which is the most vital position I think that we need to.
I think what we take from that comment is it's a positive. It's an upward curve. It looks like it's an upward trajectory.
Especially when you have someone like Tuanzebe coming through.
Not quite Premier League winning, but upward. I mean, I could be eating my words at the end of the season. I would really hope
Yeah,
to
I
be.
would love
But,
for you to be wrong, mate.
Miles off.
The skepticist
Look at that.
and realist inside of me is like, we should be challenging for Champions League, and that's probably where we need to look next
Rashford's
season.
in behind again.
He's on his own.
Rashford's
though.
1-on-1.
Here we go.
Look at that
James.
pace of Dan
James.
James on the
Dan James
outside.
out on the line. Go on, Dan
go.
James.
Oh, Dan James.
Dan James's pace in behind again.
Eric
Bailly's
Bailly's
injured.
down.
Water's wet.
Oh no.
Grass is green.
Harry Bailly's got
Dan
an
James.
injury.
Look at him just.
The fact that we
now
don't
he's
even
frozen again.
the fact we don't even have a clue what happened to Eric Bailly, it just kind
Oh,
of
here we go. We're back.
let's see
I
what
want to
happens
see
to
that
Eric.
again. This is the last thing we need as well.
Oh,
You really can't stay injury free.
You can't? No?
You can't.
Is it cramp? Oh, it's groin. It looks like groin.
That's not a good sign.
This is why you just can't trust Eric Bailly, and why I think he should just get out as soon as. And I know it's a horrible, controversial opinion because he is a good centre back when he does get a run of games, but his injury record, it's just you can't rely on injured players.
But when he's fit, he's great. When he's fit,
Yeah, but that's the key word is when.
Yeah,
which
of
is
course.
never. He plays
All right,
good
lads, I've
himself.
joined late. What were the goals like? Wan-Bissaka assist to Mason Greenwood, overlapping on the right, 1-0, and then the second one, Rashford sitting down 2 defenders. We've hit the post twice as well, bud. So it should be 4-0.
But Dan James saying the post.
Dan
as well.
James hitting the post just there as well.
And Bailly looking like he's about to come off with another injury.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we bring on a young at left back and move Rojo in, or we go in for another centre back, or bring on like Tuanzebe, which I feel like Tuanzebe is probably the better option.
Well, Young is better at he's better at left back than right back. It's not hard being a right back, but if you remember him and Valencia on either side were actually two of our best players under, was it Jose the first season? Or was
Yeah.
it the last Van Gaal season?
I mean, I remember that season where everyone was singing like Young's praises, and then it just went.
They're just showing the area.
What happened?
Okay, he got hit with the ball.
Oh, he's all right. Just
Yeah, he got
shot to the groin. He's all
to the
right.
groin.
got
That's a politically correct way of
Ball
putting
hit
it.
the
Right in the balls. Yeah. Luckily, it's not. What's it? He was out with last season. Was it ligament injury?
It was knees. His
Knees,
knee.
Oh man,
Constant knee injuries, which is not the best to
killer
have.
to be fair. So near enough at half time here. We'll do a quick recap of half time for you anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Streams back up. Yay.
There we go.
Lindelof playing for a cutting free ball, and it's a foul again on Dan James.
That was
No, it's Greenwood.
Greenwood, get back up, please. It's 1 minute of our time.
It seems to be a lot of swapping.
Yeah.
That was mainly the reason I made that comment. Then it seems to be a lot of swapping between the front three.
Yeah.
Like no one's where they started, no one's where they're sort of cutting inside. Mata seems to be stationary, and then it's the front three seem to swap. And it's just whoever seems to be running in front is the one who runs on the wing.
Here is. He looks alright anyway.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think it was just a sore one,
Yeah.
to put it lightly.
Going back to the goals as well. Both goals showcase two things that United were able to do pretty well, which is one, the link-up play, which Wan-Bissaka, Paul Pogba, and Greenwood connected well for the first goal. And the second one was obviously clinical finishing. That was so missed last season with Lukaku and Rashford. Was that Rashford's first shot of the game? I don't know. Maybe he might have been the second.
His goal. He hit the post.
He hit the
He hit the
post,
post,
yeah.
yeah.
The post, yeah.
So
No, he's had a few because he's been cutting in on that left side, I think.
either way, though, that
Wan-Bissaka.
clinical finishing has been
Unlucky
missed.
there from Wan-Bissaka.
And obviously the skill he used to get past two players.
Good tackle. Not a foul.
All right, it should be half time.
Yeah.
Just any second now.
Patrick
That's
Bamford's
it.
actually claimed for Ireland as well, the Republic of Ireland, to play for them.
I mean, I mean, you see the people going from Ireland to England and they
Yeah.
get like even a decent
Ireland
run of
really are
games.
the England B
But
team.
when you go to England and then have to go back to Ireland, I think it's a
Yeah.
bit of a.
There we go.
Right, half time there, 2-0. The score. Greenwood and Rashford with the goals as well. Entertaining first half overall, I think. Better than the Perth Glory game. I only could catch highlights of that because I was watching you lads on stream. Just
Yeah,
before.
well, one of the most exciting things from the Perth game was Dan James on our left-hand side. And I think we've been able to see a very bright offensive side to United. The issue is, we can all agree on, defensively, we're open. Marcus Rojo on that left, you're not able to see much defensively. He seems like, although he is doing his best to make sure that ball doesn't come into the box, but once the ball's in there, he seems like running around like a chicken with his head's cut off. You know what I mean? And Lindelof, I haven't seen too much of him. Besides, in the first 10 minutes, he brought the ball out a few times.
I mean,
It's probably good if you don't see his.
it's
notice
never
centre
a
back.
bad. It's never a bad thing if you don't notice a centre back. It means they're doing
Yeah.
the job. I mean,
Wan-Bissaka, though. Really?
I mean, like a real big highlight of this has been the fact that it's pace on the break is what we're focusing on, and it seems to be what the signings have been focusing on and what we've been playing. And both goals that we've seen have been from that. They've been an overlap. First one, Wan-Bissaka overlapped and then crossed it, passed it along the ground to Mason Greenwood, who just tapped it in. Second one was we played it out wide to Rashford, who made an overlap, and then he cut inside. Brilliant piece of skill and individuality, but
Just
it's still
tucked
the
it in
pass,
bottom right,
the
yeah.
pass to find him, and the sort of system that we're playing seems to be focusing purely on getting numbers forward and getting the ball to them fast. So
It's just nice to see like link-up play and wing play from the right-hand side for once, because we've been so left-sided these past few years.
Yeah.
Because that right-hand side has just been, well, I mean, look at the players they had there. We had
Left
Valencia.
side heavy. It's so inconsistent.
I mean, since Raphael kind of left and that Raphael
He's
Valencia
getting a lot of love
overlap.
these days, Raphael, isn't he? Because you don't know what you got till it's gone.
No.
Just like an
Yeah.
actual right back.
It's true.
I mean, him and Valencia just basically. I mean, I think the reason Valencia's audition to become a right back was when he used to play with Raphael, because
Yeah.
Raphael used to just run past him, and Valencia was like, "Yeah, well, I'm staying back now." So, but yeah, Raphael was probably the last that sort of combination. Right was the last time we saw that sort of overlapping and right-sided dominance at United.
It's good to see it back though, because it does take the strain off that left-hand side. Because
Completely.
we was talking before about the need of a right-hand side, and I was talking about in the pre-match build-up about how I was excited to see Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka link up. Obviously, come out pretty well in the end, but it's just good to see that balance back rather than just being like like Kieran said before, just completely left-sided dominant.
Someone in the comments just saying that Pogba's giving away possession a bit too much, and I completely agree. There's just times when he seems to be hesitating on the ball, not be able to either get out of his feet fast enough or just simple poor decision making, because either he doesn't trust like giving the ball away to someone else, like another one of his players, or if he sees a run that he could potentially make it, he's not making the right decisions. I'll be interested to see if Ollie's going to do what he did in the last game, full 11 out and full 11 in.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Do you think so?
Season, yeah. You might want to give a run out to someone like a bit more like Wan-Bissaka, maybe, given the fact he signed later.
Yeah.
And didn't get a full game, or give him about 60 minutes, I'd say. I doubt there'll be anyone here who'll play the full 90. But guys, make sure as well, if you're watching, to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share us on social media. Again, every preseason game we're going to be doing. Whether you're on work or wherever, stick the earphones in. We'll be covering the game if you don't want to get caught.
And make sure to say
watching it.
subscribe.
Subscribe as well. Hit the notifications button as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we might. I'm not tooting our own horn, but I think we're a bit more slightly entertaining than the normal commentary you get, radio commentary.
I like to think so. I do like listen to some radio commentary too. My dad's so old school. He's like, sometimes I like to mute
Live.
the TV and put 5 Live on. Shut up.
I mean,
so
when
full
you've
of
got
shit,
people
man.
when you got like Robbie Savage commentary on BT, sometimes you just got to mute it. I mean, like
some TV commentary today is a bit naff, to be fair, as well. Jamie Carragher's a bit all over the shit. Mo Salah, you little shut up.
I mean, like sometimes when you go to the expert opinion, it's like sometimes I feel like they're in this position where they kind of have to say something. They feel like they have to make a comment that seems clever, and then sometimes it just seems like, well, that's kind of quite obvious actually.
We have someone just commented, by the way, Anthony Royal. Nice for you to give us a little mini review. Wan-Bissaka been awesome so far. Man of the match. Defense been worrying at times. See a need for Maguire. Baye been poor. We are poor on the corners. You know what? I think our biggest issue right now is that we're so lost on set pieces. We don't know who's going to be taking the free kicks, who's going to be taking the corners. We don't even know who's going to be our captain.
Yeah.
And it's a time right now to find the identity of what are we going to be like on corners? Are we going to be... what I loved about England in the World Cup last year is we were able to see that there was an identity with set pieces.
Yeah,
and I would love to see that kind of implemented in Ollie's squad. I don't know who would be the best corner taker right now, because you could put a argument in for Pogba, but the biggest issue with Pogba is that he's one of our tallest players too.
Yeah, he's a threat in the box.
Yeah, and so although he might be technically gifted with his feet, don't overestimate how much power he can give, on headers and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to develop that during the season, how we're going to find our club captain too. But Wan-Bissaka, he might be my man of the match so far. I mean, he's going to be taken off at halftime. I assume it's going to be like what happened against Perth. But what about you guys? Who's been the man of the match so far?
I have liked... he's given the weight of the ball away a bit, but someone like Dan James, I don't mind if someone's actually given a goal like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been impressed with him just getting him behind. Probably should have scored there, to be honest. But
He reminds me a bit of Sanchez at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like nippy.
Oh, don't
control.
say Sanchez.
At Arsenal, don't worry, it's the Arsenal
PTSD,
fan, not the
man.
Manchester United.
500k a week.
actually, you see what Ollie was saying as well. He was saying that he believes Sanchez can get us 20 goals.
He can.
He's
He's got
kind
it in
of
his
going to
locker,
have
yeah.
to believe that because he's going to be put into the squad.
I mean, like,
No one's gonna take
I
him.
don't feel like anyone's going to take his wages. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I
No.
feel like
I don't think clubs in China are going to be daft enough. To
it
give him
depends.
that
If
much.
someone like Dan James is doing
hope
well
so.
in this sort of system,
I
you've
hope
got to
so.
say like if you're saying the sort of similar players, you've got to say that the one that he's comparing him to
Yeah.
might be able to do a bit better in this sort of system. So it'll be interesting to see once he's fully fit and he's integrated into the squad.
Just looking at the highlights of the Rashford goal here, folks. It's absolutely ended.
Great composure.
Great composure. Was that similar to that goal he scored against City in the derby when he kind of ended
Oh,
Demichelis
yeah.
and passed it into the far corner?
I think Rush has been my man
Oh,
of the
you're
match.
right. Yeah, it's exactly.
Rashford
it's exactly,
man of the
yeah.
match.
Rush has been my man of the match. I think his movement's been great. I feel like he's made the runs.
United are pulling a lot of the defenders out of the way.
His first
No,
touch
obviously
as
that-
well. His first touch has been outstanding. There's
I feel
been
like-
a few times when Pogba's been doing some long balls from inside their own half, and Rashford's control, bringing it down, is brilliant. I would agree. He's probably been the best of that front three. Dan James, he's at times getting to the right positions, but I feel his final touch, whether that's whether he's dribbling or passing the ball, he's not quite there yet. He's not. The precision isn't there. The power isn't there. Casey, you were mentioning before how he's able to see where the ball needs to go, but it's number one, the conviction behind the pass, and also I think it's the timing. Which
I
is
feel
a
like
big
vision
issue.
is something that you can't teach. Though, like you can teach someone how to pass a ball, you can't teach someone where to pass it.
Yeah.
Like that's the sort of thing. like if he can see the passes, that's a good thing at this point. The development will come as he grows in the Premier League.
Speaking of development, Mason as well in that first half, that's got to do him a lot of confidence. Having him get that first goal.
Great
as well.
poacher's goal, that, yeah.
Yeah, as well, cutting because he's not playing predominantly up front now, is he? He's playing on the right, and obviously Wan-Bissaka overlapping him, cutting inside as well. I think we're going to see that a lot more this season of someone, and I think that's why Greenwood is probably in Ollie's plans. He can drag, and James as well. They're so big because James did lead the line for Swansea a good bit last season. Someone like McBurney was injured, played predominantly on the left, but drag defenders out of position. And someone like Mata and Pogba will have a field day playing the ball in behind.
I feel like that's Greenwood's and Rashford's strength over someone like Martial is that the movement off the ball, and we've seen it there. It's brilliant. Like they anticipate where people are going to go and they draw defenders. And I feel like that it's going to be interesting to see the difference if we do make all the changes, wholesale changes, and bring Martial on, the difference in how we play, because I don't think Martial has that sort of...
No, he's not. Yeah,
he prefers to be on the ball rather than off it.
And have a go at defenders. In the same way, like we said, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot... The modern kind of winger is more of a take on a one-on-one fullback. But someone like James, someone like Greenwood, or Greenwood looks like he likes to have a go as well, but pulling defenders as well, because they can fill in that, and Martial can as well, but it's just different styles of. That's
why I think he did so well under Van Gaal, because if you remember under Van Gaal, we weren't really a counter-attacking side. We was very, pressing them back into their own half and tapping it around. Martial's strengths were getting in and dribbling past everyone on the pitch and scoring. But if you give him the ball and do a run, other than the goal against Fulham last season, I can't really remember a time when he could consistently just take a man on.
Paul Pogba in that first half, by the way, 100% of his tackles won, 87% pass accuracy, 80% duels won, 3 long balls, which one of them actually allowed Rashford to cut in and almost score. 2 through balls and then 1 key pass. He's been busy this half.
He has. I think he's been all right. He's not really dropped any clangers yet, and he's not done any stupid Hollywood balls. His balls have been very good. He did a really good long ball at Rashford, which he latched onto. But no, he's been very strong. He's been man-marked by at least 2 Leeds players sometimes when the ball's been bouncing. But no, I think he's been pretty good.
I was just going to say, just caught my eye about McTominay. I feel like saying that McTominay should play instead of Matic at CDM, far more mobile. I think that's true. I feel like McTominay...
I think Matic is, though, technically, I'm not sure if you agree, Casey, a better player than I'd say than McTominay.
Yeah, I feel like Matic obviously has the experience and he has the anticipation, but I feel like as he gets older, that's going to probably drop off a bit. And I feel like this season's going to be the switch over sort of thing. If McTominay starts playing better, I feel like Matic will probably start to drop off and make more of a background role.
I think we've seen... He won't be a consistent player as much as he has been the past 2 seasons, the Man U matches this season.
I think we'll see in the second half if he makes a change. That's going to be a big one in Leeds' defence.
We're going to have to stop you there, Casey. I think we can go live to Joe now in Perth. Joe, mate, tell us what you're thinking of that first half.
Yes, that's right. It's half-time here. Obviously 2-0 to Man United. Goals from Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. It was a good first half. A good pressing play, especially in the first 15 minutes. They sort of slowed down a little bit in the middle there, but again, after that second goal, I thought they looked good. What do you guys think of that one back in the studio?
Well, lads, what are we thinking about that? We've discussed the pressing here before as well. It's a higher line that Ollie has been playing. The defenders pushing up as well, and Wan-Bissaka, and we said the fullbacks especially, maybe not Rojo, but we can only expect so much from Rojo.
I feel like links back to what I was just saying about McTominay. I feel like McTominay allows that pressing. I feel like, again, that's what I was saying. In the second half, we're going to see whether how Matic deals with the Leeds midfield, because I don't feel like he's a midfielder that can press very well. I feel like that comes with like the athleticism and the mobility that McTominay offers, and it's going to be interesting to see if that continues with the wholesale changes. But the pressing's been good. I think Wan-Bissaka's been very good there, and
I think Lingard will fit in well in this system because he is such a pressing player. People give Jesse Lingard a lot of stick.
He's off the ball movement as well.
That's what he's best at, though. That's what he's best at. He won't put up the best numbers,
but top class.
But if you remember in the first half of the City game last season, before he got injured, we were just a completely different team with him and Marcus up front, pressing, putting them under pressure so they couldn't play their game. And he's such an integral part. As soon as he goes off, it goes out the window. You bring on Juan Mata, who is far less of that mobile person as well, to be fair.
Well, Lingard in the first half of the Perth game, he was chasing the ball like a rat all over the park, and it was great. I think he had 6 out of 6 tackles done, and that was just in Perth's half end. We're able to see a lot of track backs, I think, from Daniel James and Marcus Rashford. But going forward, the pressing that we're doing right now in the opposition's half is brilliant. And we saw glimpses of that last season. I think we were able to be caught out a few times, and it stopped us from venturing, into that high pressure, because one of our biggest issues is they're catching us on the counter attack so often. Leeds right now. I don't know right now though if we need to sign a new left back as well, because Marcus Rojo he hasn't shown too much of his capability on the ball.
Yeah.
Also defensively, he does go missing. Well, I don't know what you guys think about that.
Just a couple of things to interject, Damien. Apparently, Joe texting us in Perth. The changes at halftime it is wholesale changes as we expected.
Sweet.
I think it's Darmian at right back, Smalling, Jones, my God, have mercy on us at centre back, Young at right back, Matic, Pereira in the holding midfield, Chong, Lingard, Gomez, and Martial. So not changing formation. Joel Pereira, coming on in between the sticks as well, sticking with the 4-2-3-1 as well. So very interested to see how that Chong, Lingard, Gomez, Martial, it's kind of like that. As United academies you're going to get. Gomez as well is a really interesting one for me.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see Matic play last Saturday? I mean, we were just talking about McTominay or Matic as that CD, and personally, I actually think, technically, McTominay did a bit better. I mean, the way that Matic was on the ball, his passing, it was just not good whatsoever. The stats were not in his favour. So it's going to be interesting if he's able to put on a better performance. Now, obviously, the team had training earlier in the last game. I don't think they had training today, so we'll see if that affects, fitness or, tired and fatigue. I just don't know if this team is just as exciting as the first one we put out. Obviously, Chung is one of the youth players coming through, a prospect that we're excited to see. Andres Pereira, I think he has the potential to be in that starting lineup. I don't know what about you guys. What do you guys think of that?
I think Pereira is an interesting one. We don't know exactly yet. There's a lot of dispute whether he is that kind of United caliber. I don't think he's been given quite as much opportunities as we would have hoped maybe for last season. Also, guys, make sure to smash the like button as well. Trying to get to about 200 likes today. And we will probably do something stupid if we get 200 likes. I'm not handing my...
We'll decide in the second.
I'm not handing my phone over for DMs. We'll do Damien's again.
And after the match, we're going to be doing our review as well.
So stick around for that, guys, as well. We'll be going off air just as soon as the game finishes here and straight in to a little review after the game for you. I know a couple of you guys haven't caught up completely on what's been going on. We'll break down the entire game and give our thoughts going into the next game as well. But the second half about to kick off here as well.
It's going to be interesting, by the way.
Just saying as well, you were saying about Pereira.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, but when Fred comes back as well, there's going to be a lot of competition in that midfield. Like, who's going to come on in the first half and second half against Inter Milan? Now, Fred and Darmian and Henderson are going to be joining us. I don't know if that's going to be before the Inter Milan game. I don't know what the update is with there. So this is a question I was going to ask you guys. Would you rather see Fred or Pereira come through more?
See, I feel Pereira's problem. Pereira's problem is that he suffers from not being sure what his role is in the team.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not sure whether he's a deep line, like he's a defensive midfielder. He's been played there. He's been played at central midfield. He's been played at attacking midfield. And I feel like he's never got comfortable in one role. And I feel like that's what Ollie needs to sort out with Pereira. And I feel like that will be something he'll probably do going forward. Yeah. Is establishing like Pereira, you play in this position. You will play for like. You will be this role for United. You're not going to play up like at number 10 unless someone gets injured, maybe, or something like that. But you have like a natural role sort of thing. And I feel like that's the thing that needs to be established. And I feel like he'll thrive once he gets a sort of run of games, knowing where he wants to play.
Fred can take the ball on. He's like a ball carrier. If he gets the ball from deep, he can really drive it hard at it because he's got the experience of being, both like 6 and 8 and a 10. So, he is invaluable. That's why I think he's a bit better than Fred.
That would probably become even more of a meme falling.
Well, I think last season we were able to see great glimpses of Fred and Pereira. Fred, I think, has had his bad spells more often so than Pereira. But they both got speed, which is something that we've really been lacking in that midfield. I mean, even Pogba at times, although he's been athletic, he's been fast. I mean, as fast as Pogba can be. Besides, it's that weird little jog he does. You don't know if he's actually putting in full power. But Matic, he's been so slow. I don't think there's been enough high-tempo football. And Fred, we're able to see that he's technically gifted.
I mean, we were talking about set-piece takers before. Fred at Shakhtar Donetsk was on the set-pieces. He took some brilliant free kicks. I think one against City as well. He scored one against City. I mean, if he's playing on the field, he's not the tallest, so he won't be in the box.
Yeah.
But he could be the one that takes the set pieces. He could be the one who gets into the box, and then that was Pogba. Oh, someone just slips.
Now that's another thing I was going to bring up is that there's been a lot of slipping so far. Not so much in this game, but in the first game, there was Chong, there was Pereira. There was Pereira slipping whenever he took corners. So I don't know how much.
Might be because of the heat that Joe's enjoying over in Australia, and the heat that we're not experiencing in Manchester.
So the
maybe they
second
water
half-
the pitch more to stop it dehydrating.
Just going to say the second half has started. There's a new 11 for those of you just joining. Joel Pereira, Delone, Smalling, Jones, Ashley Young, Matic, Andres Pereira, Chong, Lingard, Gomez, one of the stars of the first half in the game against Perth, and Anthony Martial. Now, Tuanzebe and Garner are the remaining two subs on the bench. It'd be exciting to see Tuanzebe and Jimmy Garner come on.
I mean, those are names that strike fear into the hearts of United fans. Hearing Smalling and Jones and Young as the three. I mean, Dalot, quality going forward, but defensively, that back four isn't really what you want to see. I mean, obviously, it's pre-season, we're going to swap around and everything, but I would see if they start to get pressure, Tuanzebe might come on to try and show that up, because he looked confident first half of the Perth game.
There we go.
I mean, and then obviously, again, we're going to bring it back. But is this showing the reason that we need Maguire? That when we're rotating, the two players that are coming in are Smalling and Jones.
Big boy Kieran's coming back. The head influencer.
Brownie in hand.
And I got a brownie and a Pepsi as well.
We've been
I
lost.
think
without
that's
you.
I think that's kind of like rubbing it in now. Come on, like
I didn't get the brownie, when I was in the toilet. Not about that.
it's not like one of those people that you get at the doors of clubs and they start giving you give them a quid and they'll give you a brownie. I think that's a bit dodgy.
Weird stuff I've seen in nightclub toilets. It's a really weird place.
No one giving you brownies.
Yeah, no. Well, not the type you should be eating. Anyway.
No, yeah.
Not the exciting ones.
Don't eat brownies in the bathrooms, kids. All right.
That's very interesting.
If a stranger hands you a brownie, do you eat it no matter what?
No.
No, okay.
Also, never eat food in the post.
I mean, that's
Don't fuck with people in restaurants.
we're
Second half is underway. Sorry. Anyway,
I've already done your job, mate. Don't worry.
we're just talking about lineup. Not sure. I mean, like we have again a very interchangeable three behind the striker with Martial, and also Martial probably in thing because Gomez can play 10, Lingard can play 10, Lingard can play out the wing, so can Gomez, and then Chong could probably come in as well as he did it against Perth. So we've got a very interchangeable four up front, and then obviously then it kind of gets a bit more natural as you go back to who'll slot in. Pereira might come forward a bit more.
Got Ryan in the comment, by the way, Casey. While you talk about players that can interchange, do you reckon we will sign Bruno, or do you think we need him?
I don't think we will sign him. I've got a feeling we won't. I don't know. Casey thing.
It's interesting. I feel like whatever central midfielder we go for, it's what Solskjaer thinks we need. It's like what Ollie thinks we need in that sort of position. Oh, that's a good ball. I slipped as well.
That's what we're talking about. What is the condition of the field? Because it is a cricket pitch. And
Yeah, bobbly pitch we were saying in the office beforehand.
But I feel like whatever midfielder we sign kind of will set what we need to do. I feel like Fernandez is if we're going to play more offensively, maybe in the 4-2-3-1, if he'll be the number 10. But it's just going to be interesting because that's the one that no one's sure about at the moment, what midfielder it's going to be.
Would love to end on Belly, but 63 million to Spurs. I think that'd be a good bit of business for them.
Just to mention, we have 400 people watching right now. Make sure you smash that like button because we're only at 91 likes.
Come on, people, what are you doing?
Pick up
Smash
the
it.
pace.
Oh, chance for Leeds here. Oof.
Leeds should have had a goal.
Uche
First
Collins
half.
shows the live match now. No, how about that? It's not how YouTube works, mate. It's not how it works. The best place to watch the match is the MUTV, the official MUTV site. I'm sure you can sign up online and get yours. We don't work for the club, by the way. We're not plugging the channel because we're part of the club. I'll be plugging my own merch later, so stay tuned.
As head influencer.
Head influencer.
Follow Kieran Taylor too.
Want to see the match.
Go on, Chong.
Got Chong on the left side
Chong
right
on the
here.
left
That's a good
side,
ball.
everyone go.
Not been as explosive so far in this first half. Obviously, it's more youngsters.
He's underwhelmed, as harsh as it sounds. He's underwhelmed me a little bit when he's played Chong.
Chong?
I know he hasn't
Yeah.
had a lot of an
No,
opportunity, but
Smalling right there with a stupid pass. I mean, any time that guy passes the ball,
His passing is
willing to give
suspect.
it
I
up.
feel like he's probably one of the better ones in terms of the backup options that we have defensively. But it's with the ball at his feet, he's not the best player. And I feel like
no.
again, I'm going to just keep saying it. We're going to just bring it back because the comments will. Maguire.
Pereira.
It's
Close shot there from Pereira. Skimmed
Skimmed
Oh,
the
wait,
bar.
no,
My
it was
corner
deflected.
keeper saved it.
I mean, I'm
man.
pretty sure every goal of the season that we had last season
was Pereira.
just hitting it from distance.
That
And
goal.
again,
Well, that's what I was saying before. He can
that
carry
was
the ball from deep, and when they back off, he's got it in his locker to be able to put it in a top
or he's on a
corner.
set piece as well. So again,
Some guy in the comments,
he's
dead
great.
ball likes. We give you likes, but we want to watch. Come on, guys. That's not how YouTube works, pal. You ever watched the watch?
There we go.
Phil Jones 3-0.
I've always said I love him.
Phil Jones 3-0. Jesus Christ, the stars are aligned. We might even show you the game we're in that good at. No, we're joking.
Do we need
We're not
Harry
gonna show
Maguire
you the
now? Or?
game. Oh, I don't know.
Don't be exciting.
don't get that. Adam, that's optimistic. That's more optimistic than the guy that said we won't win the Premier League, saying that should we start Phil Jones? That is a big boy header, though.
That was a great. That was a
Kiko
great set
Casilla
piece
had
then.
absolutely
corner
no
routine.
chance. Blonde
Pereira.
hair
We never
to
really
blonde
score from
hair.
corners, do
No,
we?
we don't. Well, that's what we were talking about while you were away. Was that we're going to
While you were going getting brownies and
while you were busy
Oh, it was a
getting
nice brownie.
suspicious
Living it up.
brownies. But it's the set pieces we need to start working our identity on because we don't really know who's our corner kick taker, who's a free kick taker. We really don't know who our penalty kick taker is. I mean,
Pogba.
freaking Rashford.
Yeah.
Rashford took the penalty though.
True, he
against
did, he did,
PSG,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's
But
And-
Pogba wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah,
He
Pogba
got-
was on the pitch.
no,
yeah.
no. But what I'm saying though is that he was still there, and he.
He had like the bottle to be able to
Yeah.
do it on, at such a clinical,
Martial takes a
big
few of
point.
them, and then
Yeah.
I want to know if Pogba's conversion rate is better than a lot like Martial.
Oh,
who's back at
Jones,
club.
Smalling again. Just the communication. Every time I see a
Awful,
ball rolling near those two.
Clench your arse in fear.
Yeah, you do.
Defensively. it's
See
so
now I
scary.
feel like this. I feel like universe has to realign itself, and Jones is going to end up volleying it into our own net in about, like 10 minutes.
He's already done that one, hasn't he?
Normality restored.
Spurs away,
Exactly, but that's what I mean.
2
Like he's
seasons ago.
done. He's done a cracking header, and he's going to score an own
He's
goal.
going to negate that somehow. So 3-0 now, 50 minutes in.
So my prediction's out the window.
Aliou scored the first goal. Mason Greenwood, mate. Wan-Bissaka assist.
You love to see it.
Then Rashford and Phil Jones scoring. So a very Brexit score sheet we have today, to be fair.
It's been an exciting game so far. I mean,
It's been an open game, to be fair.
with Greenwood at the first goal, I was saying earlier, Wan-Bissaka, great link-up play between him and Pogba, and then obviously Greenwood positioning, brilliant. Then the second goal with Rashford, it was brilliant ball control coming up the field. It was 3-on-2 with McTominay carrying the ball up the field and slotting it to Rashford, and Rashford sat down 2 players.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of the goal he scored against.
Oh, big back pass.
From Matic, I think it was it?
And then Phil Jones.
I
with
was
the
just
header.
looking at Jones bundling someone over. I was like, there we go. There's the penalty.
Oh, it's a bit all over the
Bit of
place,
reckless
man.
tackling there. now.
Pereira.
Just take the sting out of the game.
that
foul
looked like a
needed.
rugby tackle from Pereira. I'm not going to lie.
Let's see. Guys, as far as the ones watching, how is Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka playing? How can you rate them? Wan-Bissaka's been probably the best player on the pitch today, but an
Well, he's
assist.
off now, but
Oh, he was the best player in that first half, an assist, and showed a pretty attacking performance. Dan James as well. Dan James having a real go. Hit the post in the first half as well, probably should have scored, but doing what we thought, what he did in the Perth game, pulling defenders, running horizontally as well, across the final third, dragging people out of position, and overlapping quite a bit. Rashford's having a good time.
Dan
Find them
James
as well.
is the biggest issue in that first half we were talking about is that final pass. I think he knows where the ball should be played, but sometimes the conviction behind the pass, the strength, the weight of it, just needs to find out. There was a couple of times when he took 2 corners, I think, and there was short corners, but he would just give the ball away instantly. United on the counter attack here.
Pereira seems to be like the linchpin so far. He seems to be the one that's giving the ball, driving it
He
forward.
was quite far up the pitch, isn't he?
Go on, Martial.
Oh.
And
Corner kick to United.
Well, Dalot was played as a right
it's
winger.
the
a bit.
Bailey,
It's the
Bailey,
Bailey debate. He was played as a right winger quite a bit towards the end of last season, showing as well just how little in depth we had balancing as you said, Adam either side of the pitch, so left heavy.
Right winger in the PSG game.
I think he was brought on a right wing. We were very much.
We were desperate.
Well, he
Yeah,
was
I mean-
the guy who hit the shot.
Yeah,
there.
the
I
shot
remember,
at
yeah.
I mean,
Kempe.
he has exceptional crossing ability. It's just whether his defensive output's good enough for a right back, left back sort of thing. So I feel like I understand why they haven't trusted him and bought him Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of because, again, like he's never really put in a defensively sound performance. He's always been like, whenever you've praised the low, it's always been like he's got down the wing and crossed it.
Yeah.
But there's been no one to cross it to because Lukaku, for some reason, decides I'm not going to go in the box to the tallest man on the pitch.
That's what I like about Wan-Bissaka, because he's kind of the best of both worlds. Defensively, he is solid. And going up front, he got the assist today. Look how high he was.
Jesse,
that was a good run by...
Goes out for a corner.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of that video that's on Twitter right now with it's Pogba to Wan-Bissaka, Maguire. It's just a Pog doing the header.
People ask him what's the latest score. It says it right at the bottom of the screen there, right under where it says the clock, mate. Around
there.
here. How long's gone in the
3-0.
game?
Goals from Greenwood, Rashford, and Phil Jones.
We did say Phil
Phil
Jones.
Jones.
Mad.
You're not hearing things.
I was gonna bring this up later on, but since we were just talking about the PSG game, how do you guys feel about VAR coming into the Prem next season?
It's going to break so many hearts, isn't it?
I feel like if you're on your fantasy team, do not put centre backs in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because the amount of penalties that will get given,
it's going to be insane,
you're going to need
isn't it?
those offensive points from your left.
You're going to have to go like a 2.
That's my tip of the day.
What was the Thiago Motta formation he played?
Oh, God.
The mad one, it was like 2-7, whatever it was.
He was going to reinvent football.
It was like a 2-7-2, but it was instead of being horizontally, it was vertical.
Yeah, it was
and everyone had
mad.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper
It was like the goalkeeper
involved,
comes in as a centre back, and everyone was like, "What is going on?" Like,
that'll have like Frank de Boer level of failure, won't it?
Yeah,
When he was at Palace.
Frank de Boer, man.
The fact-
worst Premier League manager start in history.
Isn't he? Yeah, like statistically the worst
The
Premier
worst.
League manager.
I feel sorry for Frank de Boer. I feel like he tried to put in a style of football, and
No, I don't. Because he did it at Atlanta United, and
He tried to do it at Crystal Palace, and it didn't.
Someone just commented, Man U passage and said, "It's so refreshing to see a lineup without Jones, Youngs, Lingard, and Smalling." Don't know if you're just catching the game now, but the second half, Ollie switched out all 11 players, and all four of those players you just mentioned.
And one of them scored.
Yeah, Jones
One of them
scored.
scored,
I've
yeah.
always said he's
Scored,
one of the best
scored,
centre-backs.
Scold. Ryan L as well. Will you be doing watch-alongs for the games next season? And thanks for reading the questions. Good to get your opinions. Yeah, mate, we'll be doing. We hope to do watch-alongs for most of the games next season. We're doing every preseason game as well. So that's the plan anyway. Watch-alongs for every Premier League game next season.
Yeah. Next one, Inter Milan.
Next one, Inter Milan as well. Followed by Spurs. What's that Norwegian? Is it Norwegian?
Christensen.
Yeah, those lads. And then AC Milan as well. We'll be doing all those games throughout the next coming weeks as well. Be different people, different opinions we're going to be getting on. It's not going to be our ugly mugs every time.
150 likes, and Kieran are trying to attempt to say Christensen.
Oh, man.
Leeds attacking from the right here.
Counter-attack.
Into the box. And
Nice.
it's late.
Hey,
Oh,
we
God.
have a clean sheet still. It should be. Leeds should have had 2 in the first half. I think a lot of Leeds fans are going to walk away pretty happy with the performance.
Jack Harrison on loan from. I think he's on loan from City. It's not a permanent deal.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think Leeds have played bad. I don't think the score justifies really where Leeds should be. They should have scored a few goals, but
Well, this brings me into obviously we're now able to see what Jones and Smalling are bringing to the table, and we've been linked constantly with Harry Maguire. So we're able to see Bailly and Lindelof, the duo. We've seen now we're seeing Smalling and Jones. Are you convinced now that we need? Pereira just took a nasty tackle.
Heavy tackle.
Is that Philip? No, is that Calvin Phillips?
No, because Calvin Phillips has that mess of air on top of
He'll
it.
be
Yeah, it's a bit of a dead for him.
Yeah.
So all I was going to say is though, does this actually convince you guys now that we need Maguire, and do you care about the price tag? Casey, I'll start with you.
I feel like we still do. I feel like this half hasn't really been shown what the problem is. Jones has scored, which I don't think he's going to prove to
the cracks.
I don't think anyone's going to be convinced by that he needs to be changed. I mean, we've had enough seasons to see Jones and Smalling have problems on the ball in defence, and I feel like we need a centre back, and we're going to have to pay. We're paying the premium for someone who's proven in the Prem. Everyone's saying, it's 80 million. If it ends up being like 60 million plus 20 million add-ons for like getting Champions League football, I don't see how anyone can have a problem with that.
Yeah. No, I for the price tag, it is hefty, but he's one of the only few centre-backs who seems to be willing to leap. And, Koulibaly Koulibaly's off the table. De Ligt's obviously just completed his move to Juventus. I mean, I think we all knew that
one of the
was never
worst
gonna
kept
be
secrets
United.
in football was De
Here we
Ligt
go.
going to Juventus.
Angel in behind now.
Go on, Angel.
There we go.
Angel past one.
Gomez.
Just wide. Should have been a goal.
Should have passed it to Delo, who was coming in that right side, overlapping.
Angel Gomez should have probably made it 4-0 there, cutting in from the right-hand side.
I feel like the more interesting thing to say with Maguire is if we do get priced out of the move. I mean, if they lower the price, there's always the worry that City will come back in for him. Because if they're like, okay, we'll accept. If we put in a bit of 60 million plus 20 million add-ons, that's a pretty reasonable deal.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like if we put that in, there's always a chance that City come in and say, yeah, we'll match that.
Leeds on the counter-attack.
Offside.
And then we're left in the situation of, does he want to go to a team that's probably a bit ahead of you? Unfortunate to say, is a bit ahead of United at the moment.
Yeah.
Or does he want to sit with the project and come to United and be a staple part of the defence? Because we've seen that John Stones went to City.
Yeah.
And he's been tossed by the wayside now.
Yeah.
Seems to be.
He's a good player, though, John Stones.
We saw a highlight then, obviously. Angel Gomez should have scored. He's one of the players that I'm excited to see come through the ranks. He's spoken in the same breath sometimes as Greenwood. Greenwood had an impressive first half, and Gomez, he impressed a lot of people in that Perth game. Some people said that he was the man of the match. He was explosive. His passing accuracy was unreal. Are you guys excited to see him in this season? Do you think he's going to make it into the starting lineup?
I think he'll go out alone this season.
He's going alone?
Yeah. I can't see him getting much. Maybe in the Europa League, but I think he would benefit from some consistent first-team football somewhere else.
I think that squad depth is going to be key if we want to keep everyone fit. We want to get somewhere well in the league, because the Europa League is, that is a marathon.
Yeah.
You've got all your other domestic cups on top of that, plus the league. I think
Plus
squad
it's a
depth
really
is key.
awkward day. Like Thursday, you always have to play on Sunday at least.
Yeah.
And it's horrible as well when if you're going to rush it, it's like a 5 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
Like 5 o'clock.
But you get to see all these new places.
Airport in like Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And get a 3-hour trip then to the stadium. Oh, it's like
Hats off to people actually
It's
traveling.
an experience.
Now, Boris is just asking in the comments. Ollie said that Lukaku and De Gea will participate in this game. So where are those two, Kieran?
De Gea, I believe, it was said he was going to start the game, but I believe he's just illness.
Yeah,
I think we said before the game. Lukaku, I think we all know it's no secret that Lukaku, I'm guessing because of the move to Inter Milan and he's not match fit yet, is the reason he hasn't started the game yet. A couple of tweets coming in as well. Sir Busby, I don't think that's the real Sir Busby.
Really?
If it was.
What?
I think
Nah,
just a hunch. Gomez linking the play in the midfield beautifully, so fluid when we allow him to get comfortable. Yeah, that's one thing he does. He needs the distribution into Gomez for him to be able to spread those passes.
He's able to distribute quite fast as well. That's in the first half we were able to see the high tempo football that Ollie's wanting to play. And Gomez, for me, fits in right there. In this team, I'm not quite sure that, with Matic and, Lingard right beside him, I'm not sure that you can still get the fluidity that you need or the best out of him.
Well, against Perth, did he play with Pogba and Mata?
Yes.
And that's why he was so good, because he had all these players to bounce off. Now he's got, this weight of responsibility that he's the creative hub, whereas there, you have 3 players that are brilliant at playing those final balls. And I thought Gomez, was complemented very well for the other two.
They're just showing the stadium, man. The stadium's really nice.
It's beautiful. How many? Do we know how many it holds?
I am not sure. As I said, it's usually a cricket ground.
Yeah, it's a cricket ground.
But it's pretty full. Both fans have apparently Leeds taken 20,000. We've obviously got fans over there, and fans come from Manchester as well. So pretty.
Dylan Hurley as well. Look at Chong and Gomez constantly pressing the opponent. Yeah, we were talking about that at halftime, and Joe was saying it at the game. Pressing's been pretty evident. That's what apparently they were working on in training a lot throughout the summer. A couple of lads managed to catch a few glimpses at the match training, and it looked like pressing was kind of what Ollie was implementing and emphasising throughout pre-season. I think he just took a whack to the head.
It showed. It didn't show there was no malice.
I think is it Berardi who's coming off? One of the Leeds players coming off with a little gash on his head. That slap from Martial.
Just going back to the comment, Chong hasn't impressed me in this game so far. I mean, we're only 17 minutes in, 18 minutes in.
He's not been given a huge opportunity. I will say that much about him, but I just don't think when I've seen him play a few times for the under 23s. Granted, it was not a very good under 23 side this season. He was the top scorer, I think, with something like 8 goals.
Yeah,
I think he needs a bit of space, because every time I've seen him on the ball, he's within touching distance of Gomez.
Yeah.
I think he just needs Gomez to feed him and just let him have a run at him.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
isolation
isolated on the right is the problem. And again, as I said, Lukaku doesn't seem to want to get into the box when he's played.
Pereira with a free kick just on the edge of the box.
Dangerous free kick.
I was about to
so
say.
it seems like Pereira's the
Creepy
set piece
in that.
taker. when he's on the field.
But he's great at dead balls. He always has been. I remember the goal against Ipswich in 2015 or 2016.
Jones. Oh my
under
word.
Van Gaal.
God.
Oh, Pereira coming out.
scary.
Sweeper keeper.
Jones making an interesting option to pass, knock that into space. Chong's done well there. Chong's done very well there.
Fair play.
He's got to watch where he's going.
No, dispossessed there.
That was just a case that there was too many people.
Should have released the ball a bit sooner.
Yeah.
Adrian Cottons, when is Maguire coming? I don't know, mate. I'll give him a text later.
Were good, but not worth the money. We missed out on big cheap deal. Costas Manolas.
Costas Manolas.
Yeah, Manolas is a show. Yeah, definitely.
He's been around for a long time. We said it on a podcast before as well. He's
he's 27, 28. He's been at Roma for a while. I've moved there from, I think it was Olympiacos. I
We
feel
played
like
against him when we played Olympiacos on the boys, I believe. Yeah.
I feel like he was one of those ones that Roma took a deal with a player. I think they got Diawara the other way. So I feel like maybe it was a sense of the deal didn't seem to be right. Roma seemed to be picking up players for others quite a lot recently because they're trying to rebuild, and it's Monchi is big transfer guru.
Is he still at Roma now? Is he?
Yeah, I think he's at Roma, or is he at Sevilla?
I think he might have. I'm not
but
too
it's
sure.
that Monchi mentality still there. The Monchi mentality.
Players.
That's a good phrase, isn't it?
Recruiting players as well, but I don't think anyone can knock Juve off the perch of that.
Juve.
I mean, like there was
free transfers, the pre-contract.
Capello said
Unbelievable.
Capello said himself that if Juve get Delict, which they have, there's no point in teams even talking out next season because they've already won the league before a ball's even been kicked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was ridiculous. There was a deal for Roma that Roma sold a left back, Luca Pellegrini, 20-year-old, 20-year-old left back who's young quality talent, and then they bought Spinazzola back off Juve for 29, and they lost 7.5 million. And Spinazzola's like the sort of player I wouldn't be surprised to be linked with Watford.
Yeah, kind
United
of
breaking forward here,
Lingard,
4-on-4.
Lingard.
Lingard with a poor ball.
Chong there.
It's a very young. Well, besides Lingard, it's a very young front four.
Very young at right back as well.
Hey.
And I don't know. Although it should be exciting, you can see the inexperience. You can see with Chong on the ball, he's not as confident as he should be. Gomez obviously the brightest, I think. Martial. I mean, how do you guys feel about Martial? Like, do you want to see more of him? Do you feel like he should be starting on the left side?
I mean, his attitude definitely was called into question a lot of the time last season, towards the end as well. And he has made no bones about it. I don't think he wants to be at the club. He hasn't said it publicly. That's just my intuition about it. There was someone asked a question. I saw a question online. It was who would you rather sell? Would you rather sell Marcus Rashford or would you rather sell Anthony Martial? And it is a tough one when you think about it.
Oh, that's good play by Gomez.
My biggest fear is that if Martial was to leave the club, he would literally become a Ballon d'Or contender because I think he's got that capability in his locker. But to be fair, like we said before, for players to go, you have to bring players in. And who would you bring in on that left side? I know it's left wing FC, but as we're so often called, but Chong doing well there. Go
play.
Chong on the left.
Penalty!
Penalty to United.
Just as we start bashing Tahi Chong, he absolutely rinses one of the Leeds defenders,
He
dragging
fully
it back.
baited him with a
challenge, and United have a penalty, so should be 4-0 here.
Why we set up for this? I mean, the sort of
I think that's the most blatant penalty I think I've seen in a long
that is awful.
time.
But I mean, like, why we're setting up here, like we talked about Martial as an out, but
That's a penalty every day. Who's going to take it?
But we've been talking about Martial, and that's
He's
not
taking
really
the penalty as well, Martial.
But I mean, that's not really been rumoured. But there's been others ones. We've talked about, obviously, Lukaku. Lukaku's just like at this moment in time, it just seems to be a matter of when.
I think it's just a matter of getting the right structure for the deal. I think that's what Inter wants.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to. Yeah, and there's others as well. I mean, like we talked playing today, Rojo and Bailey have both been rumoured to go out as well. So I mean, like, what are your opinions?
About to take the penalty.
I mean, we'll just wait till after this penalty.
We'll wait till after the penalty.
I feel like everyone wants to know about the penalty more than our opinions on Rojo and Bailey.
Yeah.
Or Bailly.
Martial. 4-0. Bottom left corner.
I said this beforehand. I said I'm gonna predict 2-1, and I bet you it's like 5-0. I'm like,
it's not yet.
There's 20 minutes left.
Yeah, there's 20 minutes left. I mean, it could be 6. Optimism.
That is optimism. But you were saying as well, the Lukaku thing, I think it's just a matter of, I do think he will go.
Yeah.
Great run by Chong. That's set up to win the penalty.
Gomez as well right there. Great cutback.
It's just interesting to see who replaces him now, because obviously we've put on social media recently, and as you've seen on social media, the training pictures of Ben Yedder.
He's looking a bit.
Who apparently we had we had a deal in place once that was just rudimentary, and now he's come back looking like he's enjoyed his holiday a little too much.
He's been hanging out with Luke Shaw, I think, maybe a bit on his holiday.
But there's some others as well. We've obviously
De Gea contract one's a big one.
That's De Gea. I was like,
350k a week. It's meant to be highest paid goalkeeper in the world. Some people in the comments, sorry, but some people in the comments are saying if he were to go, who would you want to replace him? I think Dean Henderson is near enough primed now to take the reins when De Gea leaves. I think De Gea will leave in the next 2 years. I think I do need at some point.
See, the problem was, is I feel like I thought before this game when De Gea wasn't in the team, I thought that was, and with the fact that Henderson was coming,
Clearest indication.
It was a clear indication that those contract talks had gone a bit south in the last couple of days, especially because with Dean Henderson wasn't on the tour, he's coming in later. There was no reason for that. We thought he was going on loan to Sheffield, but if De Gea stays on the contracts, that's good for us. That means that we at least can sort out our defence, have a good solid.
Got a few people asking who scored. Greenwood scored the first one, assist by Wan-Bissaka. You'd love to see it. Second goal by Rashford. Sat down 2 players. Phil Jones with a header for the third. Yeah, Phil Jones. And then Anthony Martial just put away a penalty that was brilliantly won by Chong. Offensively, it's been quite positive for United. Defensively, run them up.
I don't think Lingard. I don't think that Leeds have really challenged United in the second half.
No,
and that's probably not shown the frailty of the back line at the moment. Because obviously a lot of the new signings and a lot of the ones that we think are going to start next season were in the first lineup. So I can't really, if we don't concede,
Lingard with a bit of space here.
Really knock Jones in that. Go on, Gomez.
Gives it to Young. Edge.
I think he should have played it in front of the man.
Should have shot.
Yeah, he had a lot of space for a shot there.
But I feel like we can't really knock him. If it ends up being 2-0, we can't knock the defence.
Leeds are looking pretty lethargic now. They're just sort of
they haven't really
sitting back without little movement.
Like where we've
made
we've made 11 changes, and they haven't seemed to have made as many. I don't know how many they've made.
I mean, that's going to hurt you, isn't it? Fresh legs.
Got a few more tweets coming in.
A few more tweets as well. Cy Stoney 67. Is that Simon Stone? Is that Twitter handle? Yeah. Anthony Martial accidentally caught Stuart Dallas in the face. Dallas has got quite a nasty cut. Bielsa having a row with his own medical staff.
Oh my God.
Do you think he's from the stool then?
He's probably deep down on that stool now. I can see Bielsa walking. I know it's a bit early to say, but that's something I think would happen.
He's too busy sitting.
He's too busy sitting. But no, Bielsa, I think. Leeds with a chance here.
That's offside.
Is it?
No, he's offside.
No, he's off.
Angel Gomez is a special player. Dazzler Inc. Yeah, we all agree with you, mate, but it's just a matter if he gets the opportunity to show what he's got.
Maybe his opportunity to shine. You said it earlier. He might go on loan. Maybe that's the time. I mean, we're able to see Tuanzebe really come through with that season at Aston Villa. Yeah. So.
Maybe a season, because he is only still. I think he's only 19 now, is he? First player in the Premier League to be born in the 2000s.
I feel like the sort of cams or the number 10s in the Championship have improved greatly recently. Last season we had the season before last we had Maddison, and then this season we've had Ben Rama from Brentford.
Yeah.
That was a
Martial
searching ball.
Just beaten by
but I feel like if you prove yourself as a number 10 in the Championship, it's not that much of a step down anymore.
No, true. No.
So I feel like if he goes to a Championship club, plays well, he's obviously making a good case for himself.
Smalling looking.
The quality is getting
comfortable on the ball there, yeah.
He scares me. He's like C-3PO on the ball. He
is a bit robotic in that way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wrong side.
Chong loves those little flicks.
He loves faking. He loves a little bit of a ding.
He's been getting on the ball a lot more than I've seen him in previous games.
Smalling on the ball again.
Pereira, has he stopped running this game? He's just never still.
I don't think
just
the ball's just come into his zone. I think it's been more Lingard and...
you should have passed that to Martial, and Martial was making a decent run.
So about just over, I'd say, 50 minutes left in the game, 4-0.
Matic has improved a lot in this game.
Yeah, Matic has been all right.
He's been able to hold the ball a lot better compared to his game against Perth. What I've been really seeing is that there's a lot of... that's one of the two CDMs, in the first half, there was Pogba and there was McTominay. In this half, it's now Matic and Pereira.
See, I haven't really
dropping back more.
I haven't seen much of that.
Oh, nice from Angel there.
That was actually good physicality.
Gomez is trying to run
nearly
around.
home up.
Have a day off.
Pereira will probably take this one though.
No free kick.
No free kick.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a pitch invader at the top of the screen.
Oh, we got a pitch invader.
Oh, he's making the stewards do laps here.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, he's sending the wrong way.
Oh, he did a chong.
There's a streaker. I don't even know how to describe it. There's a pitch invader running on the outside of the
On the
pitch behind the
barriers.
advertising board
Yeah.
between that and the stand,
And
and he's giving the stewards a run around. Oh,
they
they got
got
him!
him.
They
They
got
got
him! Oh, they got him!
Oh. Okay.
Oh wait, there's a football match on. Sorry, kind of diverted for.
I've seen some great movement by that streaker. Then I
I
feel
have
like
to say,
Sign them up, United.
I'd play him in the midfield ahead of match. To be honest, it looked like he was dragging those stewards.
We don't need Bruno Fernandes.
that steward's a bit late to the party up there, mate. I think
Yeah.
they've got
They're
enough people
pinned
on
him,
him
yeah.
already. I think stop. He's already dead.
Do you reckon if he gets a picture taken and he's in there, it's like that one student who doesn't do anything for the project and gets an A.
Job well done, chaps. Job well done.
Pat yourself on the back.
to be fair with the stadium though, it's a bit of a run to get
Oh,
to the actual
Martial.
pitch, isn't it?
Played
Like,
through there by Lingard.
Oh, Lingard's making the
good
run.
play. Go on,
What?
there's
Oh,
that
good
was
reading.
the
That was
right
pretty
way.
good reading by the
that was
defender.
very good reading.
We have 380 of you guys watching right now. Make sure to smash that like because we've only got 121. What are the rest of you guys
Come on,
doing?
people.
We're not just a pretty face.
Come on, hit it.
I mean, you're not a pretty face
Hey.
in the first place. So
Hey.
15 minutes.
infighting on the.
Come back when you've got beards like us three.
I think mine's more like pubic hair at this stage of my face. Not gonna lie, it's a bit.
I'm proud of you for admitting that. Well, not admitting that, but like
All right,
saying
geez,
that.
for fuck's sake. I need that mustache just to thicken up just a little.
It's alright. It'll come
I want
eventually.
one of those.
Got a little
dickhead-
wax twirls,
Oh,
yeah.
one of
Dickhead
those. The bartender.
I want a
things.
little craft
I
beer
get
and I
it.
want a little dickhead mustache, you know.
I pour the drinks pretty high.
Yeah, I
want
want to wear clothes that I make myself. I want to go
Ooh.
full.
He's got
Like
a punk
one of them
IPA in
aprons.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We were down at Brewdog earlier. Although Brewdog, I think, is like the mainstream is like craft beer.
I've never
place.
had
You can go.
like proper craft beer before.
I've had a few IPAs. I've had a few IPAs.
I'm really
before.
bland. I'm just lager and spirits.
What lager do you drink?
Budweiser is probably my favourite.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Or Estrella. Love Estrella.
Budweiser's what I used to drink when you first started going to the pub.
Facts
'Cause you
with
don't
Bud-
know what else to order because you used to just drink
The
it.
fact with Budweiser, it either have to be ice cold or it just tastes
Awful, yeah.
Love it.
Love a bit of hop house. We are of age, by the way, people. You know, we don't condone
This is completely legal.
completely legal stuff. Bit of hop house for me. 13.
Hop House 13 is a nice
Oh,
bit.
Mm.
We're defending them from.
Could you imagine? This is what we're saying though. It's a sunny day. Probably over. Joe's probably over there enjoying a nice pint.
Oh, I'd say Joe.
Oh no.
I'd say Joe was quite
Quite
living it
content.
up right now. But
Yeah.
he's missing out. He's missing out. Look, we've got red cups. We've got nice air
got a
conditioning in
flag.
here. We've got a flag. Where's your flag, Joe?
Just
Where's
there
your
with
flag?
nothing.
He's there with nothing.
You imposter.
Absolute fraud. What, about 10 minutes left now? Game's kind of slowing down a bit now, I think.
Brent Zabie and
I feel like
Garner still on the bench.
obviously we got
Yeah.
two and Xavier's going on. I feel like
Oh, speaking of the devil, Garner's
actually,
coming on
there
right
we
now
go.
for Matic.
of
Joe
wow,
Garner,
Matic,
yeah.
Matic showing how long's he been on the pitch? Just over 30
James
minutes.
Garner,
yeah.
not Joe Garner. Jimmy
So
Garner.
tired.
Handing over the baton maybe
Yeah.
for the season to come.
Well, a lot of people reckon that Jimmy Garner could solidify himself
Yeah.
into
Him and
the,
Dylan Levitt as well are kind of names that.
Levitt, yeah.
Levitt as well. Levitt getting a call up to the Wales training squad as well.
Oh, go on, Martial.
There's a lot of really good players coming through. You got like Ethan
Oh.
Laird at fullback as well.
Yeah.
That was an interesting choice to play it. He chested it and then just swazzed it out.
We're pretty much 80 minutes in. Who's your guys' man of the match?
Man of the match. Well, we'll do one for each half. No, I think for me, Wan-Bissaka for me. I think.
Wan-Bissaka overall.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka I think for me, defensively and getting an assist going forward as well. That's probably my choice of man of the match.
Casey?
I'm gonna probably wait and see, but I'd say Pereira this half has impressed me.
Okay.
Pereira has definitely impressed me this half. He's played that sort of Pogba role, like the driving him from deep. So I feel like he's probably up there.
All right, you lads.
I think Rashford for me. I think his movement in the final third was really good, very clinical. This goal he scored was brilliant.
It's world class.
Yeah, it was. Sitting down two defenders isn't easy. So
No.
for me, he's my man of the match.
Wan-Bissaka in that first half impressed me. I think his physicality and his want to win the ball is just it's refreshing to see.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's another slip.
And in this half, I would have to say
Full ball.
No, in this half it's really hard because no one's really stood out to me as an individual. I mean,
Yeah.
Gomez is probably the liveliest of them all.
Was Kiko Casilla is it Kiko Casilla still in there? Was he asking him to slow the tempo down at 4-0?
At 4-0.
With 10 minutes to go, yeah.
He's
He's just thinking about going to the pub with Joe after the game. He just wants out. He wants a few cold ones.
Going to walk in and he's going to see Jesus and he's like, oh, I've had too many already.
Turn water into wine like that. Guys, make sure as well to stick around after the game. We'll be doing a review straight after, just breaking down for those who missed the entire game. We'll be breaking down each goal, what happened, who we thought impressed, and we'll be talking a little bit about it's Inter the next game, is it, or is it the Spurs game?
Inter's the next game. Inter on the 20th.
Yes, Inter on Saturday, and we'll be breaking that game down a bit, and so make sure to join us and keep smashing that like button on the video, guys. 400 is watching. What he's doing?
Bielsa is absolutely
Bielsa see them as well.
fuming.
I probably should say, but yes, make sure to hit the like button there, guys. Game's slowing down a bit now. I think
Leeds are
just
pressing
won
us a
out.
bit now.
Yeah.
4-0 now. They're just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit.
People asking who scored. The goals came from Greenwood, Rashford, Jones, and Martial. A penalty from Martial.
The one thing that I've seen that this is different from United last season, they seem to be able to play themselves out in danger a bit better. Like they're not the confident to try and get out of the situations they're in, especially like the youngsters like Chong, Gomez. We saw in the first half, James. Greenwood, they don't seem to like crumble under the pressure and like give up. They sort of try and fight their way back round.
Yeah. Have to remember as well, it's Jones and Smalling at the back at the moment. The opposition isn't up to much, so we have to give ourselves a bit of a reality check before really running away with ourselves. Yeah. I wonder where Joe Pereira has to go out on loan this season.
Yeah, he's going to be going out on loan. I think we were talking earlier about Tehea, who is possible replacements. Sergio Romero, he got a couple decent saves in that first half, and arguably the best backup in the world. Arguably. Dean Henderson had an impressive season with Sheffield.
United trying to play at the back there didn't really work well. Give it
That
straight
was-
away to
oh,
Leeds.
God.
But
Ashley Young shielding the ball. That'll buy him another year contract extension.
Bielsa's
off the stool. Bielsa watch.
He's fuming. 4-0 down. Upset.
I'm not liking what Bielsa's little outfit there is a bit.
Yeah, I was
it
just
looks,
thinking
a bit big.
it looks like he's just been let out of a ward in in Leeds. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that!
he's
Look at the
on
way he
now he's back down
he's
again.
crouching.
Was it Bielsa the one who sat on his coffee that one time?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, from when he was at Marseille.
Yeah.
I think he was at Argentina for a while, wasn't he?
He was I think he was Argentina manager for a while. I think he might have been Bilbao. There's a couple of
He's
clubs
been
like-
at Bilbao.
Bilbao. Herrera made comments about it.
He's
saying
very
how good
highly
he was,
regarded. Like a lot of managers highly regard him, and you can see how he got Leeds playing last season. But then again, it's like it's just getting the mentality into players.
He's really, really demanding.
He also looks really scary. I'm actually scared for some of those Leeds
Yeah.
I
players.
love his translator when he comes out after the game. And do you remember his PowerPoint after Spygate?
Oh god, that was brilliant.
That was you couldn't write that any more perfectly. The fact
Yeah.
that they ended up playing each other, Leeds and Derby, obviously in the
playoff
semi-final. Yeah.
Haven't seen too much about Diogo.
That's all right.
No.
I
mean, what was the ref giving?
I think it's
I
offside.
thought I got that. No, it was a handball. I think.
It was a handball, was it?
I thought he touched it with his chest, but
Much people just keep asking
I
who
mean-
scored.
The play-
Ashley Young, El Capitan, 100%.
Couldn't disagree with you more.
Maybe in the dressing room, just as long as he doesn't get on the pitch.
Oh, Cam's just brought in some Subways there. Not for
Again.
us. Anything for us,
We're
Cam? No.
starving. They make
No.
cookies for us.
If anything, no.
Okay,
No.
shaking
Cheers.
head, no.
They're just going to eat it in front of us and taunt us for the remaining
Like a good
10
Subway.
minutes of this game.
Joke's on them, we're 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah. Oh, dispossessed there.
I'll go and hit it.
Then go.
Oh.
Inches wide.
Tried to pass it into the right hand.
Just try to slide in.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by Subway, but damn, I want a Subway now.
Subway.
The smells that have come from the backroom staff, if we're going to call them at this point,
Yeah.
like the food they've brought in is quite.
Shame on you all.
A bit skin at
Cheers.
the moment. Meal deal incoming.
Tesco meal deal.
Get us a meal deal, Rob, will you? Oh, sorry.
There's Chong right there trying to win the ball back. Which half's been better for you guys? First, second?
First.
By a mile.
First half,
Yeah,
it was a lot more
wow.
even. A lot more from both sides as well. Leeds looked like they were giving a go. I think they've all.
Oh, that was a wayward ball. Go on. Go with it.
And go right
Jesse. Oh, he's gonna.
United breaking, poor ball from
Ah,
Lingard.
that's crap.
And
That's
then-
a good tackle.
See, I feel like
Pretty poor
I feel
tackle
like
from
they still
Dalot.
have the same pressing ability and they still have the same pace, but they're not finding the same passes.
Lingard just can't use his feet. Like, it's frustrating because his movement, his energy is great, but he just when it matters, you know, like last season, season he had under Mourinho where he seemed to score nearly every week. That whole phase, I thought, you know, he's going to kick on now.
Oh,
He becomes
great
some player.
tackle.
Yeah.
Was that Angel?
Gomez, yeah.
See, well, my dad, a class pundit that he is, my dad keeps saying that he thinks Lingard's better as the substitute. What do you think, like that sort of thing? Like, coming on with the energy that he provides to press the team
I
late
think it all
on.
depends on the opposition. Like a passing-based team like Man City
Oh.
or Pereira will, I think, starting a guy like Lingard in a game like that would be beneficial, given just how his pressing is.
I think Lingard's on the same level of Dan James when it comes to winning the ball back. I think that's going to be really interesting to see if we can put him on the bench and bring him in with 15 minutes. So if you play against an 80-minute defense,
Yeah.
and they get tired, he'd be the person to bring on. I wouldn't say he's necessarily starting lineup worthy.
Jones breaking.
Oh,
Man,
Phil
oh my
Jones
skipped
God.
past a few of them.
What is he doing? And he's
He's still
Oh my
Jones.
God, he's
Yeah.
through. He still got it.
No,
What?
he's lost it.
He's
Oh.
going.
Phil Jones did the most Phil Jones
Yeah,
end
run I've
into a
ever
run.
seen in my life.
And
Just trying- he was
now
on the
we
floor,
have no
wouldn't
centre
give
back, and they're going, and they've stopped
Free
play.
kick to Leeds.
I was half
Keep an eye on the
expecting
face. Keep an eye on the face.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
That's going to be cut up on Twitter now in the next 5 minutes.
Wait, let's see this one here.
And then he tripped, and then he tried. There we go.
We
I was
got-
half expecting him
it's a
to break.
face only a
and he
mother
just
could
got-
love that, innit?
Umar
I don't
in
think
the,
even. I think the mother was. I kind of have to.
Umar in the comments saying Pogba score, please. I think it's going to be a bit difficult, mate, considering how he's not on the field. What we got going?
I feel Pogba in the 2 games that he's been on, it's been okay. He's not been the sort of Pogba like that's in the win against City and the sort of like that world class talent, but he's given some great balls and he's put a lot of work in. He's actually tried to. I've seen him tackle a couple
Yeah.
of times. We mentioned it
Yeah,
earlier on.
backtracking, yeah. But
And I
that was
feel-
his role today, wasn't it, as well? And I think it
Yeah.
was his role in the other game as well, because he's not being deployed as a number 10 or on that left side of midfield.
I feel like it's a refreshing thing that Pogba doesn't have to do everything. Though,
Yeah,
don't you
yeah.
think?
And I think he feels that as well, because he's looking happy in training.
Guys, make sure as well, only the last 5 minutes here, smash that like button for us. Remember, every preseason game we're going to be
Oh,
covering and every
Suspect
game
ball from Young
next
there.
season. So yeah, 400 of
And
you
a
watching.
suspect kick
Jesus,
from
what is
Pereira.
Pereira doing? I'm not going to lie. Defensively, we've not even looked that good today, to be honest.
No.
We're lucky to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, folks, like, share, subscribe, share on social media.
Pereira.
Make sure notifications button as well, but hit that like button.
So do you think for today's like defensive woes, with all the news with Maguire that's been going around recently, do you think that today is like the biggest indication that we do need someone like Maguire?
I think so. I
feel like if this
Um,
defense was on in the first half, it wouldn't be a 2-0 score. I feel like, I feel like someone like Matic obviously doesn't cover very well as well. Like he doesn't relieve pressure. Like I mentioned before, players like Ndidi and stuff like that, where you get for Leicester, and that would why I think Maguire obviously looks sometimes more comfortable, is the fact he has someone in front of him who has that pressing ability and that energy in order to take the pressure off them.
Do you think that's what United need then? Some form
God.
of high energy
Pereira looks
midfielder
really shaky.
akin to your Idrissa Gueye, your Kantés, your Ndidis.
I would like someone like Ndidi at the club. I'm amazed no one's been in from.
Yeah.
Leicester must have just smashed a massive price tag on him, like they are doing with Maguire. To be fair,
See, I early on I've heard like 60 million, but that mustn't be true because I feel like someone would have easily slapped that on
yeah,
him.
he's only 22 as well.
Ashley
Oh,
Young's
Ashley
gone down
Young's
in the
down.
They're
Oh,
going to
thank
make
God.
Off the ball challenge.
Leeds not putting it out of play.
Leeds want to
Oh.
score. Leeds will want
Nearly
to
a
score
penalty
it,
for
get
Leeds.
the bit of
Small,
Yeah.
big header.
I think you just put it out. Yeah.
Young on the floor. Silent cheers. going
Jaideep,
around.
what's up with Twanzebe? Apparently, we've heard a few rumours that he could be heading out on loan again this season, which is kind of the last thing we all wanted to hear. We were hoping he'd probably leave the line. Ashley Young down here as well, getting some treatment. But yeah, Axel, really hope he stays at the club. If he doesn't get a season, if this isn't his season where he gets his chance, I can see him leave. And if not in January, in the summer, given the fact he's been here like 3 pre-season tours, that's enough time to at least earn the opportunity. To
It could just be a case though that they want to rotate more because we have quite a few centre backs out there.
Yeah.
It might just want to be a case of rotation. The United fans are absolutely loving it here. just cut to the crowd then and
Yeah.
up in arms, jumping around, waving the flags and the scarves.
It's going to be interesting to see what we're going to do now, obviously, with Axel, Tuanzebe, Chong, Gomez, Henderson even. What's the situation like? Do we loan them out? Do we sign them to... I mean, Henderson's one of the big names that, he might go to Sheffield permanently because he's got quality. I mean, the guy's impressive.
He's a good goalkeeper, yeah.
So it's just going to be interesting to see what we're going to do with a lot of the prospects this season. I want to see Tuanzebe in that defence more so than Smalling and Jones.
I think Tuanzebe and Dean Henderson, it's a Premier League based loan. Like, you can't go any lower than the Premier League for those two. They've both proven themselves in the Championship. And I
think our loaned players that we've been having on loan for the last 2 seasons that have sort of been on the periphery of, we should have them back. I think they're at that crossover stage now where if they don't play this season, I think it's time for them to go. They're getting to 21, 22. They're getting to that point where if they're not playing regular football, why would they want to be on the bench? Why would they want,
I feel like
Andreas Pereira, we brought him back and he had full season last season, and now he's probably going to get another full season this season.
I feel like it's different with Tuanzebe and Henderson, though. I feel like Henderson's the problem with Henderson is he is a good keeper,
but he's got the best goalkeeper in the world in front of him.
But he's got one of the best. Well, the best. We'll go with that. People might argue in the comments, but we'll go with the best.
Oh, lovely term for
Keeper,
Martial.
too
heavy
on it.
Too heavy with those. In front of him, and then someone who's happy to play backup. So that's a problem for him because then he becomes third choice because of availability. So he's better to go out on loan and maybe wait until something happens in that situation.
I think he's got that personality as well where he won't want to be second fiddle, which is good because, that sort of shows what type of player that he is. He wants to play every single game. He's not happy being sat on the bench.
Yeah, and I feel like Tuanzebe's just at the wrong point. I feel like the problem is now we need one exceptionally class centre-back.
I think the opposite. I think Tuanzebe's at the right point because if anything, our defenders aren't good. Jones and Smalling, they went tomorrow.
I feel like this is the thing that it's not a question of quality. I feel like it's a question of can you get Phil Jones and Smalling out of the door?
Yeah,
and I feel like if you give him a season, if you give him a new contract and tell him give him a season on loan, maybe let those people play, run down the contracts, maybe give him try and convince him to take a move. Then next season he'll come in and he'll be an easy rotation option.
There's just a lot of deadwood that's still at this football.
That's the thing.
What's really frustrating is it's a catch-22 because you want to get rid of the deadwood, but you need them for the squad for the Europa League next season. So it's
I feel like Tuanzebe takes the season. He has the experience in the Premier League, and then he can come back and hopefully we may have shifted one of Jones and Smalling on, and we have the world-class centre-back because you can't just slot Tuanzebe in and have that pressure on him. I don't think.
Yeah.
About 92 minutes. I'd say next kick of the ball might be the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he blown?
Everyone looking shattered, I think.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of
It's a
walking.
bit concerning, though. He's only played for one half, and a few of the players are looking a bit...
Yeah, well, it's pre-season.
Well, it's the second game, isn't it?
Sure, no, it's just... You want the fitness level speed.
I feel like Leeds are going to go for the just so we don't have a clean sheet. I feel like they're going to push for that one.
Ashley Young, absolutely going
Right.
in.
Will you
through
get
the
sent
back
off
of
in
the Leeds
pre-season? That's a question we
Also
asked.
having a bit of afters,
For
bit of
sure.
shoving.
We asked the question earlier. Will someone get sent off in pre-season? This might happen.
Yeah.
That's
Yellow
a
card
yellow
to Ashley Young.
Oh, and he's still going for him.
Let's see.
Just watching the replay here now, and
He got the ball.
He got the ball.
he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
He knows what he's doing.
Oh,
no,
no,
it's
it's
afters
still
here.
going on.
Still going.
You love to see it.
I feel like something's gonna.
Bit of fisticuffs going on.
Leeds have nothing
Handbags
else
are
good going
done.
on, do they? So they're going to...
Handbags down under.
Bit of handbags going around from that challenge from Young on Forshaw. Why doesn't the ref just blow it up? For Christ's sake, it's pre-season. This ref's the most jobs worth ref I've ever seen in my life. Just blow it up, mate.
I'll probably have this one kick and then it's over.
Boris asking what's going on with Fosu Mensah, by the way.
Last time I checked, he's just recovering from the injury he had. Obviously, he didn't really get an opportunity at
Is it an ACL? What was it?
ACL. I think he did something quite serious.
What do you think of him, though? I mean, I'm not a kid.
I mean, he put him
on
He's not a right back. He's a
Holding
midfield.
mid,
He's
yeah.
a holding mid predominantly. I don't know. I think maybe his time. It's
Poor
hard
at
to see.
Fulham, poor at Palace.
Yeah.
Ironically,
apparently
replaced by
poor
Wan-Bissaka.
attitude as well. I've heard.
Apparently at Palace he was very good. I think I remember there's a quote from Leroy Sané saying he was one of the hardest players he's ever played against. But the thing is, I feel like when he got injured and Wan-Bissaka obviously slotted in, they were probably more thinking, we don't take the player who's going to be gone next season. We start playing the player that's going to be there. And one of the best performances I've seen in like the last 5 so years was was Fosu Mensah against Tottenham when he went off injured and
that
conceded 3 as soon as he
Right,
was
that's
back.
it, guys.
Yeah.
Full time here. Manchester United 4, Leeds United 0. Make sure to come back. We're probably going to wrap it up there, but in 15 minutes we'll be going live again to just go have a run through the game if you managed to miss the watch along. We'll be doing another one for the is it the Inter Milan game?
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan game on Saturday the 20th, but we'll be back in 15 minutes. Make sure to hit the like button as well, you might as well. And we will see you in about 2:15, I'd say, 2. So we'll see you then.